totally almost just cussed after I started the stream, but I didn't.
1080p.
1080p. Okay, it'll take a second for it to go up, probably.
It's up.
And it's up, apparently. Oh, snap. Cool.
Yeah, it's up, Rob.
Alright, Jason for life.
So we're here as our annually Game of the Year podcast, which I guess you can only do Game of the Year podcast annually. But yeah, so it's I guess we'll just do introductions to what we got here. So who we got? We got
Starting with the bees.
Yeah, start with the bees. So Baltus, you started off. Okay.
All right.
we got Bal. I was just gonna name who we got. We got Baltus. We got Britt. We got Joseph, JD, Kenneth, Phil, and myself. So we're all here to talk about 2017 games. So why is it still not up for me? Okay, I see the chat. So Rob says, "What? What are you talking about? GGS? I don't know what you're talking about." Okay, so we got...
Yeah, it still says we're playing Odyssey and we're doing the marathon.
Does it? I thought I updated it. Whoops. Okay. I got this. Okay, so I changed everything, but I didn't update apparently. I'm very good at this stuff, y'all. Update information.
We'll get there eventually, Rob.
There we go. Hey, I'm working on it. It's been a big week for me, okay?
What did you do?
I put this thing together, and then I streamed. Which you guys saw my stream last night. It was alright. Okay. What category? I'm gonna list the categories that we have for this this little podcast. We have best new IP, best multiplayer, best looking game, best music, and best story. So let's just I guess we'll start on best new IP. But first off, just talk about like how good of a year 2017 was for like games in general. I probably played more games this year than I have like in the past 5 years. It has a lot to do with the Switch probably, but I don't know, there's just a lot of good games. What do you
There's
guys?
quite a few games that came out that were very good.
Yeah. What'd you guys play mostly on? Just like the Switch this year, or like
PC.
of course you did PC.
Yeah, PC and Switch.
I didn't do much PC. Oh, go ahead.
I played probably most hours on the Switch and the second. Well, PC and PS4 are pretty close. I think you sliced for this up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's probably PS4 first for me, just because I played a lot of Persona 5 and Nier, and those are pretty long games. Well, I did put like 60 hours into Breath of the Wild though, and then all that time into the Mario, so it could be the Switch. The Switch has been pretty great. What about you, Baltus? You just been playing a lot of PC and Switch?
That's classic Baltus.
Yeah, just like leaving like as soon as we started the podcast.
Just peaced out.
Oh, Baltus, the classic. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna start up best new IP. Okay, so there were a lot of I can't get over this.
Did my mic stop working?
Oh, yeah, it's working now.
What the heck? Okay. I said a lot of Skyrim. I've been playing a lot of Skyrim.
No Skyrim on Switch, I'm guessing.
Skyrim on Switch. It says the Switch was great, but it was Switch and PC for me.
What about 3DS? Like, I just got a new 3DS for Christmas, so I kind of been playing it like since then. But
Wait, what? Why?
not before that. Well, my old one broke, so I hadn't had one. But
Oh, okay.
I've played a decent amount of 3DS. A couple Dragon Quest games, little Pokemon, Metroid: Samus Returns, which was one of my favorite games this year.
Hey, Pikmin was alright.
Oh yeah, I forgot Hey Pikmin came out. I missed so much on the 3DS just because I hadn't had one in so long. So I need to pick up Pokemon. But I really just need to play some Zelda Ocarina of Time. So
That is true.
Nah.
Do you need to play that game?
You do need to beat that game.
I've beaten that game before.
How much for us to do
I call BS.
randomizer run?
What randomizer?
Ocarina.
Oh man,
Campy might be there, so maybe we can get him interested.
Is there a randomizer for Ocarina?
Yeah.
Man, wouldn't that be awesome? There has to be, right? Like,
I'm sure
or at least
was.
somebody's working on that.
I might
Rob
be
versus
better.
Campy randomizer.
What is a randomizer? Just adds like, it just like throws you in like different parts of the game. Like,
No, items
It's
are
everything,
spawn in
all
different places.
Okay. Well, I don't know half those places anyway, so.
We know.
Oh, Jesus.
How many marathons have you played this game now, Rob?
A few. It's a good game. Yeah. It's one of my favorite games.
If only that was the reason you kept playing it.
It's real good. Okay, so back to games that came out in 2017. Start off
Skyrim!
Start with best new IP. So unfortunately, Skyrim is not a new IP, so it's not gonna be on this list.
I bet I could argue otherwise.
I bet you could try. Okay.
Britt, back me up.
I want to thank Rudy really quick for hooking me up with this super awesome like setup thing that he did, so I can like click on these games and stuff.
That's pretty translucent, Rob.
Yeah.
I just looked at the stream.
Yeah, is it supposed to be that
See,
translucent?
Look. There we go. Look better now. Look better now.
I mean, not everything's
Now,
highlighted.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was the thing. I was gonna like reveal them as we go. All right. So on this list, I know there's more new games than this that came out this year, but this is kind of just what I added. So we got Cuphead, Pyre, Hellblade, Horizon, Neo, and I did add Mario and Rabbids, even though that's kind of, I don't know, like it's kind of two IPs that kind of just like merged together.
Executive decision.
But I think it's different enough that, like, I don't know, just
I think
marrying
it's a good call.
Yeah, I think just
Good
marrying
call.
those two ideas together is kind of enough to like
Good old,
grant it consideration. But
good old Neho.
that's
Yeah,
how it was spelled
I like
on the
Neo.
list. That's how it was spelled on the list.
I missed
okay?
that game last year.
Whatever, you guys know what I meant. Neo. But anyways, any other games that you guys can think deserve to be talked about? Best new game.
Wait, look, are
best
we
new
missing
IP?
Now-
a category, or like, are we just not skipping
Are
with
we-
one?
Are we missing what?
Indie games? Because I didn't see any in the list.
No, I mean, you can just add it to any category. Like, I think indie games, I don't know, nowadays, I feel like they're so big that they can be talked about in, like, any of these categories.
Well, like,
I don't know if any of
there's
them
no
would
place I can put
over, like-
Doki Doki that isn't indie.
Yeah, but we can talk about that when we get to like narratives. I think because that
Yeah.
is worthy of it. But like I played a game called Heat Signature easily 100 hours over the last several months, and it's just by like two guys. It's kind of like a
Heard something.
Hotline Miami space.
Nice. So is it just like a run-based game, kind of like?
It's a top-down heist game where you can like freeze time at any point and plan your strategy for moving through spaceships and wrecking dudes and stealing stuff.
Cool. Well, that sounds pretty awesome.
I love that one, but I don't think like I guess it would only fit in new IP, but I don't know if they intend to expand on it or what.
Is it a PC or like Switch or?
Yeah, it's PC.
Cool. I have to check that out. I would add it right now, but
Yeah,
I have to.
I just wanted to talk about it. I feel gratified.
Cool. Anybody else have any games that they think? I know I played some other games that should probably be on this list, but I can't think of them right now.
Well, now I have to ask. You put these games on your list. Have
think
you
you can
played
buy
all
all
of
of
those games?
All the
You can
games
buy
on the
all our
list.
No, all the games you nominated. I'm just curious. Have you played them?
I haven't played Neo, but I don't know what you're trying to do, Baltus, but
You didn't play Niho?
I'm not gonna bite. So I did not play Niho.
You just
don't know
always
if
have
you
like
need to
one
know.
or two games that you didn't play, or no. Usually it's
Well,
one or two
I
games
mean-
that none of us played.
I still think you can still talk about those games. I don't see how that like disqualifies them from being talked about.
Just
Like it's probably not a
busting
win,
balls.
but all right. But anyway,
Is someone playing their game of the year right now?
Oh wait,
Still
did you have? We're on best new IP, right?
yeah.
Brit had Arms.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Arms. I just put it in there.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
can talk about it.
And you wrote down Night in the Woods on the Google Doc.
I did, but that's a game I didn't play, so I didn't put it on this list. But
I knew it.
it's a game that I
Well,
really.
what about PUBG?
Yeah, PUBG. I didn't put it on here for some reason, but I think PUBG like definitely belongs in this category. I mean, there's other games like PUBG, but it's kind of the first one that like stuck. So, let me see something real quick. Talk amongst yourselves about best new IPs really quick. I'm gonna edit this list.
So on my list, Cuphead. What do I have on my list actually? Let me pull it up real fast. I think I have Cuphead and
No, you have Hellblade and Arms.
oh well, I was way off here.
I think I put Cuphead, but I probably didn't.
I think you did.
I didn't play Cuphead. So.
I didn't. Oh, I didn't put it on. So anything that I had not completed, besides if it were for like an audio category or visual category, I didn't put it on there. That's why I took Cuphead off of that one
I
because
think a lot of people kind of do that. I think if you play enough of a game, like you can probably talk about it and consider it, but I don't know.
Rob's
But for
right.
me-
I mean, have you ever really completed Skyrim, Britt?
I'm pretty close to 100% of that bad boy. but
But has anyone completed Niho?
my
Just completed Niho.
my
I'm editing
number
this
one
shit right now, so I can just.
best new IP, I'm gonna put in for Hellblade.
Hellblade.
I guess I should talk about it at this point.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just did it last night. Yeah.
I think it's what it really is strong at is its sound design. It's a unique concept, and they had the team in general had kind of a unique task if they were trying to go between AAA and what I guess you'd consider indie. They're calling it kind of like AA. So they had a mediocre, not mediocre budget, but they had a decent budget, but it wasn't something that a AAA studio has. And they, I think in the first 3 months met like what they were trying to break even with. And with the limited amount of resources that they used and what they put out, it's about 8 to 10 hour game, and it's a strong story driven game. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's a lot of fun.
I'm about halfway through right now, and I like it a lot. Like it's one of my favorite games of the year already.
Halfway through, did you play it for like an hour?
Played for like 4 hours.
Damn.
I loved the combat, while it was so ridiculously simple. It still felt very rewarding, more rewarding than a lot of games.
Combat was my least favorite part. Like I don't know.
I wish it had
more
more combat. Like it definitely left me wanting more.
I don't know. I wanted less. Or like I wanted more out of the system, but I didn't feel like I was going to get that with that game. So I don't know. But the story, like the storytelling elements and everything in that game, were amazing. Like the atmosphere that it creates and everything, I thought were like spot on. Even like the exploration in that game was just so good. I don't know. I think that's a game that's like really benefits from like being a game. Like I don't think you could tell that story like in another type of media like in the same way.
Yeah, and I also think games that are a little bit, on the shorter end, like 6 to 10 hours,
Yeah.
if you have a game that's got a real strict narrative or something like that, whenever you're trying to tell it over like 20 or 40 hours, sometimes it can, you almost have to put filler type stuff in there that doesn't necessarily fit, like a, you know, random side quest to fill time, or the classic of doing fetch quests and stuff like that. So I think playing like an 8 or 10 hour game that has, you know, more short and concise, and you're able to get your story told in a more, I don't want to say reasonable, but you're able to, you know, you could probably beat it in 3 or 4 sittings pretty casually, and I think that's nice. And the price point is also kind of adjusted that way too, because what is it, brand new? Is it 25 or something like that? But anyways,
Yeah.
I think it's if you're out there and you're watching and you haven't played it and you want like a real story driven game with really good atmosphere, like Rob said, good sound design and all that, and it's not very expensive, and you can beat it in a handful of settings. You should give it a try. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. What about Horizon? That's a game that I didn't play, but got like all kinds of buzz this year until like Zelda came out.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I feel terrible because this game, I think I was talking about Tyler about it after E3 and stuff, and I was like, I'm looking forward to this game so much. And I've been playing so many games this year, and so I can't personally speak on it being best new IP because I haven't got a chance to play it. I will get around to it, just like I'll get around to playing The Witcher 3. But yeah.
So good. Yeah, I wish I had time to play Horizon this year, but I'm not even like in my last like mad dash last month of the year where I try to play like, or at least touch like all of these games. Like I just couldn't get to it. But it looks really cool. Everything I've seen on it like looks pretty awesome. But
I realized late last year that the more you play Skyrim, the less you play other games. So I have a problem.
Yeah, like I think it's probably maybe the same way. I think this year, and some of it has to do with the Switch. I think this is by far, I think, the most amount of raw hours of video games that I've played in a year, and I've played a ton of new games. Yeah. But I've also replayed Bloodborne about 3 times this year.
Yeah, I replayed Bloodborne, and I replayed Skyrim twice. I replayed Fallout 4. We all pretty much replayed Breath of the Wild at least once. Well, I mean, me, Britt, Rob, and Joseph and JD. Oh, not JD. That makes me sad you weren't there.
I just realized that everybody, including me, forgot that this was the year Yooka-Laylee came out.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, no. We didn't really forget. It's Yooka-Laylee.
Anything I saw in that game just made me want to play like Banjo-Kazooie or something. Like it looked like a worse Banjo-Kazooie.
I got it.
I gave the game 20 minutes and I was like, F this. I'm going back to Banjo.
I really wanted to get it on the Switch. I haven't gotten it yet, but I heard that the port to the Switch is actually, because I know that they ported it themselves, Playtonics or whatever the name of their studio was, and supposedly they did a good job on it. But
they fixed a lot of the stuff on the Switch, didn't they?
Yeah,
it's a Unity game, so the reason they took so long was that the version of Unity on Switch wasn't as complete as it was on the other consoles. So they did fix a lot of things, but the pacing is still kind of getting hammered, I hear.
Yeah, I don't know. Just everything I saw of that game, I'm not huge into like platformers anyway, which you guys might know about me. But like I don't know, I like that 3D style kind of platformer, but that one just wasn't
like the N64 era.
Yeah. But I don't know, something about it just kind of turned me away from it.
We did have a really good platformer this year. We actually had a couple of them, but
yeah.
Speaking of, it was a good platform here.
Really good platformers. What about Cuphead? How many of you guys played Cuphead?
I've played it. I have not seen it. I don't own it. My friend at work owns it.
Yeah, I bought it on the Steam sale and I've been playing it quite a bit. It's super fun. Like I really enjoy it, but I don't know. I mean, it's like I think what it adds like is just like kind of art style and like really tight controls and stuff like that, which getting controls to work on PC is kind of a pain. but like because you kind of have to play that game with a controller. But I don't know. Like for me, it probably wouldn't be best new game just because it's a platformer, and I'm not like super into platformers, even though it's a really good platformer that looks really good. But I don't know.
One thing I try to think about too when it comes to like, because maybe it just was tripping me up. We called the category new IP, so I kept thinking about the future of an IP, and I love Hellblade, and at the same time, it's such a unique, self-contained thing in and of itself. Like if they said, hey, Hellblade 2 is coming out, I think I'd kind of be like, please don't.
Yeah,
Like,
no. I think that opens like a game like Hellblade opens the doors for like other games like Hellblade, not necessarily like a
Sure.
Hellblade 2, but like that kind of like heavy narrative driven like game like that. Like I would totally play like another game like that.
now I think I would love to see now, and maybe I don't know, it just scares me. You know, sequels can be a scary thing sometimes, because especially when you have when something ends and it feels finished.
Oh yeah.
Like Halo 1 or Halo 3. And then they drag it out longer. But they created such an interesting universe with Hellblade. Like they used things we know about. They used mythology that we know about. They made it like really interesting and relatable to the character. And I think I would love to see more things set within that universe. Maybe different stories within that universe, different characters.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool to. I mean, I still haven't beaten it, so I don't know exactly how it wraps up. But like I would just be interested to play another type of game like that. What about? Did anybody here actually play Neo? Or...
Neo. The H is at the end of the word, Rob.
Wait, is it for real?
It's NIOH. Yeah, you changed it and it's still wrong.
Dang it. Okay.
I played.
I'm sorry, guys.
Did
I had to
anybody
tell him.
play that game?
We'll get there one day.
I played a bit of it, but
That's the one that's like
a really good
Samurai Dark Souls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said it was really good. What you played of it?
so far what I've played of it, it's I mean it's difficult like Dark Souls. I enjoy the combat a lot.
I think we talked about that game a little bit, like on our
Yeah,
drive or whatever.
yeah. I definitely want to play more, obviously, but haven't had time to play more of it. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. The exploration and like upgrades that you can do are pretty unique in the fact that you can choose 3 different routes of like powers that you can do.
Yeah.
There's like a flame, fire, phoenix, or something like that, a water spirit, and then a wind spirit that you can choose, and they kind of enhance your abilities and whatnot.
So does it play like Dark Souls, or does it play like damn, what's that game that I'm thinking about? I don't know. Like, what's the gameplay in Neo?
Neo, it's similar to Bloodborne, Dark Souls.
Okay. Like a little bit
Maybe
faster
more Dark
paced.
Souls than Bloodborne, because I mean there's no gun mechanic, but at least as far as I've gotten. But yeah, it's very Souls-like in combat.
Yeah. Cool. I guess we can talk about PUBG a little bit.
Someone fucking was not having PUBG talk.
What's on the top right here? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But I mean, I think I love that game and hate that game, like a lot of people I think do. I think it's hard to kind of put it on like best new game maybe, just because I don't know. It's a very like not everybody is gonna get into that game. Like it's got a very I don't know, like if you like first person shooters, like that kind of type of thing, then you're gonna get into PUBG probably. But I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys played a lot of PUBG this year.
That game's crap.
Oh god.
It's just,
I mean,
it's so short burst.
It is,
And,
but you kept going back to it.
No, I'm saying, because I was eating some cereal. Each game.
I just want to say,
Oh, okay.
I just noticed a game. Well, no, I'll wait till the end. Never mind. Keep going.
I just got back.
I just noticed a game that I'm surprised nobody put it on the list because it's one of a lot of people's favorite franchises. But the latest entry was so freaking bad.
Well, if it's someone's favorite franchise, then it wouldn't be best new game.
What game is it?
Yeah.
Nobody mentioned Mass Effect Andromeda at all.
No,
I forgot that was this year.
the game is
Yeah.
bad. That's why I didn't talk about it.
Yes, Rob. And I
Well, we
hate
can
that it
get
was
to that.
bad.
Yeah, me too. I want to forget that game exists. But Kevin was saying something. What were you saying, Kevin?
I was saying, PUBG is so fun because it's such short bursts and just you reset after every game. So it's like crack.
Yeah.
One hit, you're hooked.
Do you guys think that, like, next year and the next couple years, like, a bunch of, like, Fortnite already kind of has a Battle Royale mode in it. Do you think you see, like, a Call of Duty, like, adding something like that, or other first-person shooter type games?
I don't see other games adding it that are already established, unless it's like a side mode. Like, I don't see Call of Duty making it their main thing. Just because PUBG is in that little niche, Call of Duty's in that arcade shooter niche.
Yeah.
So I don't see them like.
Do you know what I'd like to see? Like a high fantasy battle royale game.
Yeah,
you're like,
that would be cool.
which I know that genre in general, kind of like survival games were maybe a couple of years ago.
Like
where
Lord
now
of the
they're
Rings
kinda-
meets PUBG.
Yeah, wouldn't that be freaking fun?
Maybe Cyberpunk
great.
will add like a PUBG type mode. That would be so cool.
Speaking of Cyberpunk, is that coming out this year?
No, I think it's
There
like 2020, isn't it? Or is that
The
the?
root.
there was a rumor recently that they're gonna have news soon or at
Yeah,
E3 or something.
Yeah, because they
Oh,
tweeted
cool,
for the
cool.
first time in 4 years, like the other day, and it was like bleep blop or something like their beep. I can't remember what it was.
It was beep.
They just said beep.
Be black.
Thanks, Jason.
So, pretty good chance we'll hear something this year.
Cool. Yeah, that's probably one of my most anticipated games when we get to talking about those. All right,
That's my favorite subject. Oh, sorry, Rob.
I was just gonna talk about Pyre a little bit real quick.
Okay.
I don't know how many of you guys played Pyre, but that game was really, really good.
I don't know what
loved
it is.
It's the
Same.
newest Supergiant game, so it's the one that's like fantasy, like space basketball / graphic novel type thing or whatever.
What?
You had to have heard about it. I'm sure you've seen like screens and stuff.
Oh,
of
the
it.
Bastion people, right?
Yeah, the Bastion and Transistor people.
Transistor.
Yeah, so I had a ton of fun with that game this year. It's kind of short. It's like an 8-hour game. Really like narrative, like story driven, but it's not in a way like Hellblade is.
Wow, I'm getting a Hyperlight Drifter vibe from the posters for this game.
Yeah, the art in that game is amazing, but it's I don't know. I think like I love all of like Supergiant games. They're one of my favorite like developers, but I think it's my least favorite of theirs. Which I mean, I still love the game, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like I really like the gameplay in it, like the basketball type thing, but I feel like it wasn't maybe varied enough because it's kind of like the only thing that you actually like do in that game gameplay wise. The rest of it's just like making decisions and like storytelling and stuff, which is really cool. I love it in games, but I don't know. I can see why some people might get turned off by it. JD, you played some Pyre, didn't you?
I think he stepped away for a second.
Okay. Did
I
nobody
couldn't
else?
take it.
Nobody else here
But
played
yes,
Pyre.
he did play Pyre.
Okay, I thought he did. I don't know how far he got into it, but yeah, that game.
Isn't it on the Switch?
Does Joseph know?
It's not on the Switch. Does Jason know what?
How far JD got?
Oh, yeah. Let's just talk talk
I
through
think that
Jason.
JD got about like halfway through Pyre, maybe.
Okay. Interesting.
No,
So,
I want to
Chad,
say he finished it, but I'm not really sure.
it's just like an 8-hour game, so he might have finished it, but I guess we can wait for him to get back to talk about that a little bit more. But I think me and him are the only ones that played that. I know there are other games that should be on this list that I'm forgetting about, but
Is Pyre on the Switch, by the way?
it's not.
No.
No. Unfortunately, it would be a really good game on the Switch, but it has not made it there.
I mean, I can't think of many games that wouldn't be good games on the Switch.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You kind of just say that about everything.
I feel like every game that comes out, or if I replay a game, like I played an older game this year, Neo Kuni, and I loved it. And I was like, man, I wish this game was on the Switch.
Yeah. It's just so, I don't know. And I don't even like take my Switch like places all that much, but just having that like as an option is really cool.
Yeah, I just like to lay in the bed or on the couch or whatever.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
also, I play probably more on the TV, but I do find myself just picking it up. But yeah, sorry to derail the topics, but yeah.
Are there any clear, like, I think Hellblade is really strong, like, on this list. Like, I think that might be my number one if I had to pick from this.
I think
like,
if we
it's between
voted
that
like we did in past years, it'd be Hellblade.
Yeah, I don't like to vote that thing though. I kind of just like talking about it. But it kind of just comes down to, I guess, what games people are most passionate about or which ones people actually played. But Pyre also would be like high up there for me. But like I said, I think I really liked. I mean, I liked a few games on this list above, like actually playing them above Pyre. So.
I thought that Horizon Zero Dawn was really fun. It kind of reminded me a bit of a mix of like Tomb Raider style environments with Deus Ex style powers and stuff.
Cool. Yeah, that's one that I'm gonna get into eventually. I still got like 60 hours left to play a freaking Persona though, so we'll see when I get around to that. Cuphead, I think, is really strong, but I don't know. Is anybody here like really really into Cuphead this year?
I was.
Yeah.
And he had a falling out.
You are a Cuphead.
I am Cuphead. No, it was really good. I loved it. It was, if there was an indie game of the year, that and like Doki Doki would have been it for me.
Like, did you nominate Doki Doki?
No, I didn't. They didn't really fit in any categories. I thought.
Best story. I think I put it in best story.
It's whatever your heart desires, Kevin.
I mean, Doki Doki's got some pretty good music too. I'm not gonna lie, but there's a lot of really good music.
Hell yeah.
So I think it's kind of between like Hellblade and Cuphead right now, which I would like to see more of, like both of those types of games. So it's kind of hard. I mean, I would choose Hellblade just because I don't know, I really got more into that game than I did Cuphead. Cuphead was just like really like good to look at, and the music was great in Cuphead too. But I don't know, I was more invested in Hellblade, and I'd like to see that above like Cuphead's really good at what it does. Like it's a really great like platformer and stuff. But I mean, we've had like really great like platformers kind of like it before, but I mean not with that art style. But Hellblade just seems something like completely like new to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Somebody that played. Is there anybody else that played both Hellblade and Cuphead?
So
I didn't play enough of Cuphead, I think, but I did play. I mean, I would also give the nod to Hellblade if we're between the two. Thank you.
Okay, so I think Hellblade might get this, but Cuphead would be a really strong runner-up, I think, and I don't know who the second. I think maybe Horizon would be the second runner-up out of this list. Arms was cool, but I don't know. I didn't really have much fun playing Arms. So
Yeah, I think that's about right.
okay, I'm going to edit this. Is freaking JD back yet, or is he still? And he's not back.
All right, let's just move on.
All right, I'm gonna edit this list real quick. I think we've got Hellblade's gonna be the winner, with Cuphead number 2 and Horizon number 3. I think that's a really good list. I'm happy with that. I really want to play like some more Cuphead, but I need to get the freaking controls to work on PC, because that's like a pain to freaking get right.
Plug in your PS4 controller.
Well, like you gotta map the controls, and it's just like I was using my wired Switch controller, and it was working pretty well, but I don't know. Like, I just need to get like a Steam controller or something, I think.
Just get an Xbox controller.
Just use an Xbox controller. Let me let you borrow my Steam controller before you buy a Steam controller.
Do you not like it?
It's difficult.
Gotcha.
I've heard from everyone who has a Steam controller that it's weird and awful.
Yeah.
I can go down to the factory right now. It's like a 10-minute drive from my house.
Oh yeah, just go pick me one up. Like, they'll just like give you one, right?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Just sort through the dumpster and get a fresh one.
Okay.
Now, a Steam Link, worth it.
I got mine for $1.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bert was telling me you could get those at GameStop when the sale was going on, but
Yeah, they were really cheap too.
Yeah.
You didn't have to pay that shipping.
But were they $1 cheap?
I think mine was $5.
I think it evened out whenever, because I think shipping on Steam was like, sorry, meat nice at the moment, but like $5 or something. But
yeah,
you could get it at GameStop for like $5 and no shipping, obviously.
Rob, you downloaded OBS there?
Yep, downloading the OBS. Okay. And there we go. So all that just to list those games. Okay, what should we move to next? Best multiplayer?
Yeah.
Let's jump
Yeah, boy.
on that. All right. Best multiplayer.
Where's Dota?
I mean, I will put Dota on
just
this
playing.
list. When did
Too bad it didn't come out this year.
When did Dota officially come out? Was it like
I think 2015.
2015?
20.
Okay.
Wasn't it 20? Yeah, 15.
Oh, there's JD.
I should BRB. I had to deal some stuff for work.
We were talking about Pyre. You weren't here.
It's like a good game.
Did you beat Pyre?
Did you beat it?
No, I haven't beaten it yet.
Oh, okay. So there wouldn't be enough to justify that anyway, probably. Okay.
Disqualified.
Disqualified. All right. What am I doing? Interact. Okay. Here's what we got. We got Jackbox 2, Fortnite, Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2, Tekken 7, Destiny 2, and PUBG. I think that's a pretty solid list right there. But is there anything we left out? Anybody can think about? It should be on this list.
Nothing besides like Dota.
Yeah, but Dota didn't come out this year. Why you gotta be difficult, Kevin?
Sorry.
Not sure. That covers the list of multiplayer games I think that I played over the year.
Yeah.
Oh, there is one more actually. I just thought of one. Snipper clips.
Oh yeah.
Snipper clips.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is.
It's super good.
All right.
Megan and I played a bit of it together.
Bree and I played a good bit of it.
Yeah.
We need to play more.
That was a launch game, right, for the Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just updated
Yes.
it. Added some more stuff. What, like 2 months ago? 3 months
Ooh.
ago?
Yep.
Free
And,
DLC?
I think so. Yeah.
So if you own the game already, yeah.
Yeah, because if you buy it
Nice.
now, it's a little bit more expensive.
Cool. I didn't know they were like still updating that game. That's really neat. What the heck? I keep rubbing the wrong thing. Okay, so anything else you guys can think of deserves to be talked about here?
No.
Okay. I guess let's start with Destiny 2, just because that's kind of the most probably controversial maybe game like on this
Gotta
list.
keep it controversial first.
Yeah. I really like Destiny 2. Like I liked all the stuff they did with the competitive multiplayer type stuff this year. I think like busting down the like team size was really smart. Like it just made it like the matches go by faster, kind of, and I don't know. I think it still kind of has like that Call of Duty like effect a little bit, where like if you get the first shot on somebody, you're obviously gonna win. Which that's like that for like a lot of shooter games, but I don't know.
Depending on which play style you're in, which play version.
Yeah.
If you're just doing the kill confirmed or whatever, it's first kill doesn't like it is whoever's the best is gonna win.
Yeah. Which is fun. It kind of sets a high ceiling for those types of games. But
I think a lot of the things that they did with Destiny 2 for the worst, they need to have the smaller team size and whatnot is nice for speed of the games and matches, but they should have had the ability to have the larger size teams, the larger size matches. Not only that, but also having the different playlists of what you're playing. They did a lot of stuff that was very questionable, but
I feel like they took a big step backwards.
They took, it was one step
A
forward.
lot of steps.
Yeah, literally the one step forward, two steps back in a lot of the stuff that they decided to do from what Destiny 1 Year 3 was compared to Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing. They had 3 years to learn these lessons with Destiny 1.
And they made Destiny 1 a phenomenal game. Like I liked Destiny 1 at the start, absolutely. But at the end, like Year 3 was amazing. So
yeah, I don't know. I think Destiny 2 is definitely a better spot than Destiny 1 was, like when Destiny 1 came out.
I don't think so.
I don't think so at all.
I think so, 100%. That's crazy.
Destiny 2 is just a depressing memory of what Destiny 1 was when it launched.
I don't know. I played a lot of Destiny 2 like solo, so maybe I'm not having the same experiences that like you guys had, but like I thought a lot of the changes were.
We didn't have to play a lot of Destiny 1 solo though, because everybody else still wanted to play.
Fair, but we were just like shooting in a cave for like hours.
We had fun shooting in that damn cave, though.
I'm not gonna lie, it was
which
fun,
is crazy.
Like that's not a crazy like good gameplay. That's just
what Destiny 2 is missing is the stuff that you are seeking out. Like there's nothing to seek out in Destiny 2.
So you think there's like less mystery like in Destiny 2?
It really sucks that they're like the ghosts in Destiny 1. Like
I absolutely
doesn't have anything to
down the ghosts and the Shiva shards and
the
stuff on the Dreadnought. Like a lot of that stuff.
The golden chests.
Yeah. Like there's still golden chests in Destiny 2.
They respawn, don't they?
No.
Do the golden ones not respawn?
No, that's once per.
Do you get a trophy for finding all of them?
There's no trophies, I don't believe.
Kevin, you didn't play Destiny 2, did you?
Yeah, dude, the game's trash.
You can't say that about every game, Kevin.
It is.
He's gonna say that about everything that's not Tekken 7.
Or Doki.
No,
I just say about everything but Doki Doki.
Yeah.
Like Destiny or Bungie, like got my money again. And it's not happening ever again.
You say that.
It probably will. Let's be real.
Halo 6.
That's 343.
That's true. That is 343.
Oh,
Okay.
good point.
So we can jump into Splatoon 2. I think that's kind of a good jump from Destiny 2.
Love me some
Because
Splatoon
Yep.
2.
I like Splatoon 2 a lot. I had a lot of fun with it. The thing that I didn't like about Splatoon 2 was the map kind of thing, where there was only like 2 maps like in rotation at a time. But I mean, I don't know. I think it makes sense for what they were like doing, but
Yeah, I like the map rotation. I like the way that they do multiplayer, and where if you have, say, it's like me, JD playing, and me, JD, Baltus, and whoever, it'll the getting into a match is really quick, and then you're not guaranteed to be on that person's team. That puts some people off.
yeah.
The mode that you can and guaranteed to play in would be the Splatfest, but yeah, and also some of the ranked. I forgot what tier it is. You can be guaranteed to be partnered with somebody. But anyways, I really like the addition of Salmon Run.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And yeah, they continue to update the game, put in new maps like the supermarket. I think is the most recent one that they did, and the upgrade system is really addicting in that game. And I feel like it's just I like Splatoon 1 a lot, and this is just an even better Splatoon.
Yeah.
Besides, I know that there's a little bit of controversy over the controls, like the latency. But I guess I'm a high tier enough player to really notice the differences. But I have a lot of fun with it, and I really like the way I like the way the community is kind of involved in that game. So with the Splatfest and just like the lobby system and stuff,
Yeah, the
simple little
Splatfest are
stuff.
but a lot of fun, like perfect idea for that because it brings people back every time.
Yeah, it's a very Nintendo multiplayer game.
Yeah, I think my like big issues with Splatoon 2 have nothing to do with like Splatoon 2. It's just kind of like how Nintendo does their multiplayer stuff like a lot of the time. It's just, well, I mean, Splatoon 2 is not really a game where you have to like talk to the people that you're playing with, but like I don't know, I feel like their Nintendo like solution to fix that is I don't know. It's not doing it for me.
I just use Discord for pretty much any multiplayer game, even like
Yeah.
Bloodborne. I mean, Dota has built-in mics, but I still use Discord anyway. So I
Yeah.
feel like even if they had it built in the game,
Yeah, I do that.
I definitely want to use it in game.
I mean, I would for sure. Like on consoles, like I use voice chat a lot on like PS4 and stuff like that. Games that I'm playing, but when I'm playing a PC game, obviously I use Discord. But I don't know. I just feel like they could do better at like trying to like build an accessible, like more accessible system for people that want to use that. But that might be an edge case there.
I think you could see it where Nintendo will add it to where if you're partied with them, you'll be able to hear them. But I don't ever see Nintendo having it to where it's if you're teamed with somebody in general or against them that you would hear Mike, because Nintendo seems really against that.
Well, the Switch doesn't have a built-in mic for one, does it?
No,
No,
they did add
that dongle thing or whatever.
They did add Bluetooth like mic additions and stuff like that. So it actually, yeah, it could work. So if you had a Bluetooth mic or something like that, it would work. But I mean, it would work if they allowed it, but they don't have anything.
It has an aux port as well, so
yeah.
Yellow Pepper said Rob is a trash talker on a COD. I don't know how he knew that, but no, but yeah, I don't see them ever adding that, like where you can just talk to people in your team anyway. Which I was playing Overwatch last night, and the player on my team was just like talking the whole time, and he was just like talking, and it was annoying. So I just like muted him or whatever. But so I like having that, like I don't know, like it doesn't bother me just going in and muting somebody, but I see that there's like kids playing on the system, so you don't want them like exposed to like all that kind of stuff. So. But I don't know. I just wish Nintendo would realize that not just kids are playing. Like I know they know that, but like how they guard like against the internet and stuff like that. Just it's probably because I don't have kids and I'm not a kid, so I'm sure like people with kids like respect that. But
I'm a kid at heart.
True, we all are. Okay. Oh, we jump to Mario Kart 8, which is a game that I had a ton of fun with this year, multiplayer wise. Like locally and over the internet. We had that Mario Kart 8 community night or whatever, and that was like super duper fun. Like right when the game came out, I think.
Yeah, I think Alan's playing right now.
Is
I know
he?
he was last night.
Nice.
Yeah, I think this is like the best iteration of Mario Kart, arguably. The only thing that I would argue, I like the whole double dash mechanic.
Yeah.
But besides that, in terms of just tracks, characters, the looks, the feel, it's really good.
Yeah. My only argument against it would be that, like, it's Mario Kart 8 that came out for the Wii U, which a lot of people didn't play, like myself included, but I don't know if I don't think that necessarily disqualifies it from like this list, but I think it's kind of like something that would, I don't know, that I would be like a mark against it kind of to me, but
You think a game that you didn't play that came out on a Switch where a system you now played it on should disqualify it?
no, I'm not saying it should disqualify it. I'm just saying like we talked about it last year, so like we talked about Mario Kart 8 in our like multiplayer stuff last year, so and I think it like I don't think it won, but I think it was like one of the runners up or whatever.
I think it added more than enough new content and
Yeah,
new
like,
styles.
I think the Switch version for sure, like, it improved multiplayer so well, like with the battle mode in particular.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh goodness, yes. But it would have been 2015 that we talked about it.
Yeah, it
'Cause
wasn't.
came
Oh,
out
was
in
it 15?
2014.
It was a long time
Wait,
ago.
it came
Rob.
out. It came out in 14.
Came out in 14.
Yeah.
What the heck? Jeez. Okay. Yeah. So scratch
Maybe
that.
you were playing more Mario Kart than you realized.
What year is
Mario
it?
Kart 8.
He's just been playing Double Dash, thinking he was playing 8.
Hey man, Double Dash is probably the best Mario Kart. So
I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is.
Same.
yeah,
Same.
it's real good. I like playing Link on the motorcycle. All right.
I like feeling like battle mode is actually a battle mode again.
Yeah. I think the last like battle mode stuff I played was on the 3DS one. But okay, what else we got on here? Fortnite. I think JD put Fortnite on here.
Yeah, I think it's good. Good to mention at least.
Yeah.
That one's PUBG 2, right?
PUBG V2.
It's like PUBG 0.5.
Yeah, it's like different enough. I was watching somebody play like on Twitch or whatever, play Fortnite like last night. And it seems like a really fun game. Like I feel like it's something that I could get into, but I don't know. I kind of
The shooting mechanics and everything is a lot different than what you get in PUBG.
it's all third person, isn't it? Fortnite?
Yeah, which PUBG has that as well, but
Yeah.
the building aspect in Fortnite is what sets it apart, which I'm not good at that. So like I've only played a little bit of Fortnite, and what I've played is it's fun enough, but yeah, I thought it was good enough to mention at least.
Gotcha. Cool. I definitely want to check it out, but I'm still really into PUBG. Like when I have time to play it, or I'm still like trying to figure that game out, as JD knows. But all right, Jackbox 2. I think Phil put this on here. I played the first Jackbox a lot and loved it, but I have not played like any Jackbox 2 really.
I think Jackbox 4 is the one that came out last year.
A Jackbox 4? Oh, okay. Mobby. I will fix that.
They're good games, Rob.
What are your like what's part of this like Jackbox? Like what did they add?
What a good question, Rob.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Okay.
The series is like the only multiplayer I do much of anymore, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to play it a lot. Like the was it the Draw Me one or whatever? But that was like super fun. And I think it was Katie was actually like streaming it last night. She was doing a stream.
Yeah,
today.
she was.
Nice. I think that's like a really good like local multiplayer like party game.
Yeah, it's super. Like anytime I'm with my friends and stuff, like that's what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really good. I mean, it's a really cool game to stream too, just because of the way that, like anybody can interact with it as long as you can see it and you don't have to be there. But it's just a really cool game to play. You know, when you're with the people.
Hey, did you guys notice the Jackbox people were at PAX?
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't until after. I was like, hey, wait a second.
To be
Yeah, they did
fair,
a live
we didn't
live
walk the
playing
floor
of the
too
game. I
much.
think.
Yep.
There were a lot of games at PAX that have been out
I'm
for a
just
while.
real happy that Jackbox took off.
Yeah, me too. I think eventually they might like run out of ideas, but they kind of haven't yet. So I feel like every Jackbox kind of has like one or two like games where that everyone's like super into, but like in the other
I
ones, I
might do
kind of just
something
had.
weird. I was saying I'm happy that they took off because
Alright.
like before now it seemed that the go-to multiplayer was Cards Against Humanity, which nothing against it, but Jackbox is a lot less edgelord friendly.
Yeah.
I'm with you there, Phil. Skipped over a game there, Rob.
Did I? I'm trying to add the thing right back. So let's give me a second. What game did I skip over? Just name it.
Tekken.
Oh yeah. Well, I knew you were the only one.
Did he forget it?
I knew you were the only one that was gonna like talk about Tekken. So tell us about Tekken, Kevin.
Well, Tekken 7 finally came out to home consoles, and it's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
What makes it better than previous Tekkens?
It's a lot less. There's still a really high skill ceiling, but the skill floor has been lowered, so it's a lot more accessible. And
Tekken's
went with
kind
a
of always been like the more accessible like fighting game, though, hasn't it?
no,
No, Tekken
God,
hasn't.
no. It's just casuals play it and like mash and think they're doing stuff.
Okay. I thought it was like because it's like every button controls a limb or something, right?
Yeah, so it's like left punch, left kick, right kick.
Cool. Yeah, I wanted to get it, but I kind of just like, which I would probably put Injustice 2 on this list. I didn't for some reason.
Yeah, Injustice 2 was good as well.
Yeah, that was like the fighting game I kind of got into this year, like above everything else. But I've heard a lot of good things about Tekken 7. I really love like the thing that they added where at the end of the game or whatever, where like it slows down like for the last hit. Like I think that's a really cool mechanic.
Yeah.
It's that's just registered everything that has been done, right? And then it just
Yeah.
plays out. Yeah.
Yeah, but Kevin was telling me, like, I thought that's what it was. I thought you, like, it took your commands or whatever, and then you could just basically, like, set the controller down. But apparently, like, if nobody hits, like, anybody, like, it goes back into, like, regular, like, normal speed or whatever.
Yeah, you have to fight, finish it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It gives you a heart attack.
Cool. All right. Well, is there anything else from Nintendo? I'm thinking, like, I know ARMS came out this year, but that's a game that I didn't get too into like at all. So
I have ARMS, 2 of them.
good one.
No, but yeah, ARMS was fun. I barely played it. I was hoping to play some with like Jason and Kevy at Final Fantasy, but we never got the chance to. But ARMS was fun, but I can see why they basically stopped updating it now.
Gotcha. Also, what was the like Pokken? Pokken came out this year, right? Or what? It was like
On the Switch.
Yeah, the Switch version.
Yeah.
Cool. Did any of you guys play that?
I haven't, no.
No. I kind of wanted to check it out because it's like a fighting Pokemon game, but I did not. Okay, so what do we like this list? I think Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart are kind of like consensus, like top 2, probably.
What was it?
Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart.
Yeah. Those are my top 2.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think those would be my top 2 as well.
Think we're ready for the next category.
What is somebody like clapping or what's happening?
They're really excited.
Apparently. Okay. So Splatoon. Oh, snipper clips too, though. I don't know if it should be snipper clips or Tekken for like that last spot.
Tekken.
I think more of us played snipper clips.
Snipper clips.
I did.
The couch local play is amazing. I mean, that's the only way you can play.
Honestly, I had way more fun with snipper clips than Splatoon or Mario Kart.
How dare you, Joseph? I'm disconnecting from the podcast. I'll see you.
I didn't. We bought Splatoon, and we didn't really play it. Snipper clips, though. I mean, being able to play it on the couch, playing it on the airplane, like going to and from marathons and events, is a lot of fun too. It's such a nice game for anywhere, and being able to play with just one switch, it's a lot of fun. It's great.
Honestly, I'd put snipper clips above Splatoon 2 as well, just because I haven't played enough Splatoon 2.
Splatoon 2 is really good.
Yeah, it definitely is. But snipper clips is a very good game, and it's couch
It's different.
play. Yeah. It's.
I mean, Splatoon. We've got Splatoon is great. It's fun, but you know, I've played plenty of shooters. I like that Splatoon has its own kind of angle, but snipper clips. I hadn't played a good. Actually, I hadn't really played a co-op puzzle game ever. Not like that.
Yeah, I mean, snipper clip. I mean, I liked Splatoon 2 a lot, and I really liked Mario Kart, obviously. But snipper clips was one of my favorite, I guess, co-op experiences I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Let's get to snipper clips then. Snipper clips. Numero uno. Upset pick.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be. I thought going into this like it was gonna be Splatoon or Mario Kart, but that's interesting. I would go with Splatoon 2, but
Did you play snipper clips, Rob?
I played a little bit of it. I don't know, like
The crazy
co-op
thing is, like,
multiplayer
I've only
games,
played 2-player snipper clips, and there's 3 and 4-player modes, right?
Oh, I didn't know there was a 4-player mode.
Yeah, three players really good. I haven't played 4.
Oh my god, I bet
Single
that's
player
crazy.
is good too.
Okay, so I think we're gonna give it to snipper clips. Good job, snipper clips. I'm surprised, but yeah. I kind of want to play some more snipper clips now. How much you guys are talking about? I didn't play very much into it, but yeah. I also kind of just want to play some more Splatoon.
Same.
All right, so let's jump into best looking game. There were
Skyrim.
a lot of good looking games that came out this year. And I will list some of them. Okay. Here we go. Cuphead, Pyre, Hellblade, Horizon, Neo, which is spelled wrong. No, I spelled right that time, didn't I? No, I spelled it wrong again.
Nope, still wrong.
Mario plus
Jason
Rabbids.
went to school with her sister.
Mario
Jason went
plus
to school with
Rabbids.
Neo's sister.
Zelda Breath of the
I
Wild,
liked it
which
like
is
this.
the first time that we're like mentioning Zelda, which the other categories we couldn't have, so never mind. Nier, Resident Evil 7, Injustice 2, and
Whoever played Injustice 2, I can argue against that all day.
I can argue for Injustice 2 all day. So,
Bet.
It's the worst fighter of the year.
Destiny 2, Super Mario Odyssey, and Persona 5. Yeah, a lot of good-looking games came out this year. Maybe that has to do a little bit with the like super 4K like version of consoles that we got with the Xbox One X and the PlayStation Pro, which I think PlayStation Pro was 2016 when it came out, wasn't it? I can't remember. But yeah, anything you guys think is missing from this at first look?
Look at my Steam list real quick, just to make sure.
Some guess that's a no.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, I'm sure we're missing stuff. The check and like.
I mean, Sonic Mania, I guess, would be my other vote, but
Yeah, but I don't know.
it's more in the same style as Cuphead.
It just looks like a good Sonic game. Like it looks like good old Sonic games. Like
Yeah,
Sonic.
but I really think Cuphead, like Russ said, Cuphead takes the cake here, based on the art style.
You might have look at Mario Odyssey spelling.
Yeah, dude, I was just putting this together like super quick.
It's funny because he pronounced Odyssey like he pronounced the Y, both Y's in Odyssey the last time he said it.
Yeah, dude, like I told you, I was freaking like rushing through this thing. So
I can't wait to the rest of the list.
I'll fix that. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good starting list for sure.
I think.
All right, so who has an argument against Cuphead?
Yeah,
Well,
I think my
I think we
favorite
talked about
looking
the other
game
stuff.
was Cuphead. And I loved what they did with that game. And if you watched the behind the scenes of it and stuff of them creating and stuff, and for that for me it's between there's kind of three Breath of the Wild, Cuphead, and even Persona. This is a hard one.
Yeah, for me it's like Cuphead and Persona probably. Like for 1-2, that 1-2 spot. I really like the way like RE7 looked. Like I like the environments in that game a whole lot. So like possibly like could be up there, but Breath of the Wild looked really great. Yeah, I mean, I think it looked really really good, the environments and stuff. But like the feel of Breath of the Wild was like kind of like I don't know, just the way that world is like.
Feels like you're in a Studio Ghibli movie, which I know a lot of people have said, but whenever we were sitting there playing it for the first time, that's what I felt like the entire time. And I feel like Breath of the Wild is going to age extremely well.
Yeah,
I think so.
Just like Cuphead, and I mean, its art style just kind of lends itself to that.
For Persona 5, like I felt like the entire time I like play that game like I'm in an anime though, basically. So like the cutscenes in that game are so good because it is basically an anime. So
An anime?
An anime, yeah. But
Top one anime betrayal.
Nier, I'll talk about Nier a little bit. A lot of that game like is meant to look very drab and stuff, so I don't think it like necessarily like.
I mean, 2B alone makes it the best looking game.
Oh god. But like some of the enemies and like environments in that game are like really like beautiful and kind of like offsetting like in parts. I don't know. Like there's a part where you roll up on a abandoned amusement park or whatever, and it's just like there's fireworks going off and there's all these like robots dancing around and like shooting confetti like above their heads, and like the whole game like up to there you're like all these robots are like trying to kill you, but you pull up there and like it's like these robots are just like chilling and like partying or whatever. But I don't know, I think that has maybe more to do with like the story, like that part of the game, but like it was very visually striking too, I thought.
I still think Cuphead, just because you can't beat hand drawn.
I mean, you can be hand drawn, but go ahead.
I think that is like the way Cuphead was made is really cool and stuff, but I don't think that just because something's hand drawn, like yeah, it looks great, but I don't think this game's hand drawn that means it's the best looking game.
Yeah,
I don't think so too, but I just think it looks really good.
Yeah, it's absolutely a fantastic looking game, but it seems like a lot of the argument for it is, oh well, this game was made in a really cool way, so that
I think
make it the best looking game.
I think just saying honestly, it's hand drawn, it kind of like sells it short a little bit, just because like I don't know, there's so many like things going on in that game that it just being like hand drawn like that, like I wasn't initially like just drawn to it because it was hand drawn, but I don't know.
Look, I've been waiting on that game for like 4 years. So if you're saying Cuphead's bad, you're saying I'm bad.
I mean, you are, but
I just think
because you are, I mean, Cuphead is.
it wasn't because it's hand drawn why
Yeah.
I enjoy it so much. It's just I think the style is hard to pull off without it looking bad. But the animations on it are really good, and they're able to capture the what era is that? I guess like the
Be the
50s
50s.
or 40. I don't know. Jason probably knows better than anybody.
It's like the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
I was
we were
way
close.
I was only 30 years off. But anyways, no, I really think it looks good, and no one else is. I'm surprised no one else has gone for that. I'm trying to think of other games.
I think
there was a world
tried, but
I really can't think of any besides that Mickey Mouse.
Timeless something in Kingdom Hearts 2. What was that
Yeah.
called?
The Magic Wand game too with Mickey Mouse.
what was that game?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Epic,
of.
Epic
It was
Mickey,
called
right?
Timeless
Epic
River.
Epic Mickey, yeah.
I think Epic Mickey 2 was the one with like the steamboat like Willy
Yeah.
part or whatever.
But a lot of those were just like still backgrounds and stuff like that. The animations they did really good job without making them look like stiff. It's kind of like, I mean, I'm kind of comparing the two, but not in a way. But the South Park game, when you play the South Park game, it feels like you're actually in the South Park show, and when you play Cuphead, it feels like you're playing one of the shows, which is like I think really hard to do. But
I'm looking at a video of Timeless River from Kingdom Hearts 2, and I didn't remember this, but they didn't do anything 2D. Literally, all they did was turn everything black and white and do 3D renderings of Mickey, and all the old campy 2D style stuff was done in 3D.
What I'll say about Cuphead 2, like they could have just easily done like that kind of like hand-drawn style and just have like the backgrounds just kind of like static or whatever. But like the backgrounds in the game are like kind of like amazing. That's like what makes me kind of want to play through it. Like all the little details or whatever. Like there's a boss fight early on where there's a bunch of like I think you're in like I don't know some jazz club or whatever. There's a bunch of like bees in the background and they're all like cheering for like you in this boss fight or whatever. Like it's I don't know. It's just very like interactive and stuff. A lot of stuff going on.
Runner 2 had interactive backgrounds too, like
What did?
the Runner series, Bit Trip Runner.
Yeah, I didn't play a whole lot of. I think I played Bit Trip Runner, the first one. But.
It just comes to mind so much for me because I've been playing the beginning, but like the background itself is in that type of thing too. So the animation is definitely great.
Yeah.
We're also not giving any attention to Pyre, which
Yeah.
is a very pretty game.
God, Pyre looks so good. Like it might be my favorite looking Supergiant game.
Yeah, I mean they've taken everything that they've learned and brought it from Bastion and Transistor and made it better.
It's funny because if you look at like random screenshots of Pyre, it just looks like they smashed Hyperlight artwork with Hearthstone
I think
and
that's
Banner
kind of like,
Saga.
I think that's selling it short in a whole lot of ways. I think Pyre does its own thing. Like, I mean, sure, it like has similarities to other games, but like
every game has similarities to everything else.
The world that they created, like in that, and like the way that you move around the map and stuff. Sure, it has like it looks a little bit like Banner Saga, but I mean, it's animated. Like I don't know, like how I mean, you can say Cuphead looks like Banner Saga because it's animated, but I don't know.
You can't.
You can't.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I googled Pyre and hit images, and the very first image with the text over the screen, I guess just the text banner background reminds me a lot of some Banner Saga screens that I've seen. I haven't played Banner Saga.
Banner
either.
Saga is
That makes
gorgeous as
JD
well.
cry.
Banner Saga is like a lot more drab than Pyre for sure, though. Like, it's just the nature of that game. Like,
That's the setting of it.
yeah. But yeah, I think Cuphead like wins. I would say like for me, there's games in this list that I like a lot more than Cuphead, but I don't know if there's a game in this list that looks better than Cuphead.
For me, Cuphead looks great, but I didn't play it, and I love what it's trying to achieve, or I love what it does achieve. I love what they did with Cuphead. Breath of the Wild does it for me, though. Everything they did with the Zelda series there, the art style, the physics engine of that game and how objects interact with it just looks fantastic. There's so much you can do in that game. Like that game, it could play. You could be just a regular, boring, conservative player, or you can do some pretty badass looking things in that game. This was the Zelda game I wanted Skyward Sword to be. Skyward Sword could have looked great if it wasn't on the Wii. Just like Twilight Princess could have looked better if it wasn't on the GameCube.
I think Skyward Sword, I really like that.
I love Skyward Sword,
I think it might have the best
but
art style.
I love what it looks like. It's just the Wii made it a jaggy pile of barf. If Skyward Sword came out on the Switch, it would be gorgeous.
I think it's still,
we
like-
might be seeing that soon.
I think it's Skyward Sword still like I
JD,
didn't
don't
like
tempt me.
a whole lot of Skyward Sword, but I like the way that game looked a lot.
Don't get me started.
I just said I like the way it looked.
I see them shortening that tutorial at the beginning.
What do you guys
Oh, yeah.
think
100%.
about Cuphead, Breath of the Wild, and Persona 5 for this list?
I don't know Persona 5.
I would put Cuphead
Yep.
at the top for me, and then Breath of the Wild second for me, and then Odyssey third.
And from images I've seen, Horizon, you know what? If I hadn't played any of these games and I went just on screenshots, Horizon would be my win. Like that game, out of all the games I haven't played, Horizon looks freaking nuts graphically. And I've read articles on how they achieved such high fidelity with decent frame rates, and the technical aspects are pretty great to read about too. But I didn't have a chance to play it.
I'd almost put personally Pyre over Persona. I went Baltus with Zelda as my favorite looking game over Cuphead. But I mean, I haven't played Cuphead, but like, you don't have to necessarily play it to see the animation and make a decision on the artwork.
Yeah, I like Pyre a lot, but I think Persona 5, like the environments and stuff in Persona 5, like it looks so different, and like it's not even just like that. It's like the like victory screen and stuff. I wish I could pull the video for you guys, but it's like after you win a battle, you know, it like shows your stats and like the stuff that you won and everything. You're kind of like just like running through like this little graphic, like as it like tallies all this stuff up for you. It's just really cool, like stylistic like type thing or whatever. But which you wouldn't like, you don't know unless like you've seen it or like played that. But yeah, that's mine would probably be Cuphead, Zelda, and then Persona 5. With Pyre like a close fourth.
Sounds like Cuphead wins.
Hell yeah.
Looking that way. Okay. What do you want to say about Odyssey? Because we haven't talked much about Odyssey, Britt. If you want to like talk about that a little bit.
I just like the how the worlds were so varied, which I know whenever you have like clean cut different worlds, like you've got I forgot the name of the food world, but you have like forest world, you have New Donk City and stuff. When they're that varied, but you're within the same game, I think it's kind of hard to keep it cohesive, but also really different. And Nintendo did a really good job on it.
I think
all the worlds felt completely different, and I mean a lot of that is also you have to do like with sound and just creating atmosphere in general. But I really liked it. I'm a huge fan of Mario Odyssey, but
yeah, I
love the look of Mario.
I liked the individual worlds. Oh my god, I did that again. But I think it did kind of fail, like that cohesive kind of look, which I don't know how you nail that. I don't think you can like nail a cohesive look.
I don't think it needs to be cohesive.
I felt like it was still cohesive. I
didn't.
am colorblind though, but it felt like they it all worked well. My favorite world was spoilers here, but the Samurai world, Bowser's, which was like I think the next to last world. That or
I really like the Forest Kingdom and the Food Kingdom. I can't remember the name of that one either.
Yeah, Luncheon Kingdom. What's up?
Luncheon Kingdom.
Yeah, Luncheon Kingdom.
Yeah.
All right, we good on best looking game?
Yep, looks like it's going to be Pyre. I just saved this, so I'm looking for it, but we can move on. I'll go back to it. God, I keep doing that stupid thing. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be Cuphead's going to take it with Breath of the Wild and what do we have? 3? I don't know. It's between like Persona 5, Mario, and Pyre. So okay, so let's move on to Best Music.
Hell yeah.
Mario Odyssey. All right, let's move on.
Nah,
Someone wasn't happy.
not for me.
I kicked them so they couldn't complain.
I spelled Neo wrong again. Okay.
No.
Shut up, Jason. Someone
If you had a different spelling every time would have been awesome.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of good music this year. I got Cuphead here, Nier here,
Mario Odyssey.
Oh, I spelled that wrong too. Whatever.
Odyssey,
Odyssey,
Texas.
Persona 5, Neo, whatever.
Personal 5.
Mario plus Rabbids, Pyre, and Zelda Breath of the Wild. What are we missing? I know we're missing something from this list. No? Nobody thinks we're missing?
I mean, Doki Doki. I'll add that.
Nah, Doki. I'm sorry, but Doki Doki wouldn't hang on this list. It's got like one.
Doki Doki had great music.
Yeah, but it's like one track.
Yeah, but listen, so is the music in The World Ends With You, but people would fight wars to get that elected as best music.
Would they? If they'd fight wars?
If Nitram was here, yes.
Not necessarily the best music, but it was an amazing game, which comes out later on the Switch this year.
It was a horrible game, Brett. We're not friends anymore.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god!
What game?
World Ends With You.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to play that.
I played the iOS version. I think that's my problem.
It looked really interesting, so I can't wait to play it.
You can only control one character, I think, in the iOS version. Sorry, I had to go over this again.
Man.
Well, that explains it.
Oh, did anybody like? Oh, we already kind of went through Neo. JD, I think you put it on here for best music, possibly.
No.
Oh.
Oh, you forgot. You forgot Skyrim.
I did not.
Yeah,
I did not
Skyrim. Skyrim came out on Switch last year. It totally deserves it.
Baltus, why are you the way?
Mario Kart 8.
That's the same tracks though and stuff though, right?
Yeah, but they sound better.
Okay. Back to it.
I put SteamWorld Dig 2 music.
Oh yeah, you did. I don't think I got it on here.
PUBG's music.
No. Does PUBG even have music?
I don't even know if there's music.
At the title screen.
I'm sure there's menu music.
Yeah.
Title screen music.
It's just Marvel music, rip JPEG.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll start talking about Persona 5 because that music is amazing. It's like they set up like this whole like kind of like jazz. Like, well, that game is like you're like a caper basically. Like you're this like
A what?
these, like you're a bunch of thieves. Like you're trying to like steal, like go on heists and stuff throughout the game. It's really kind of. It's probably not hard to explain. I'm just doing a horrible job.
Are you telling me that Persona 5 isn't about a bunch of high school kids just going to school and talking about random shit?
I mean, a lot of that game is kind of about that, but like
It's called Slice of Life. Ever heard of it?
Yes. But yeah, the soundtrack really sets up like your whole like planning, like your heist type stuff, and like you're breaking into.
It's the Breakfast Club meets Ocean's 11.
I mean, that sounds kind of awesome, though, doesn't it?
It does. It kind of does.
But anyways, the Persona games have always had like good music. This is the first one they played, but I listened to like some Persona 4's music and stuff. But I don't know. I just really like dig the whole like jazzy like bass guitar that like runs throughout this entire game. Basically, like it's probably my second favorite music on here, but it's real good. Anything anyone wants to talk about else on this list? Mario plus Rabbids, maybe. I love that music.
Mario Rabbids' music is phenomenal. Grant Kirkhope did
last night.
Yeah, did you listen to any of it?
Yeah, I did last night. It was good.
It's so good. He takes a lot of liberties in what he does. The theme of Mario makes it his own, which Grant Kirkhope does some phenomenal stuff. So
yeah,
I think
sorry.
I think Mario Rabbids is definitely one of the top of best music, if not the best. But it's probably top 3 for me.
Probably a solid 4 for me. Or maybe 5. I don't know.
Splatoon 2 had some pretty kick-ass music as well.
Man, Splatoon 2.
Splatoon always had some good music.
The first one had great music. Like, I like the Splatoon 2 like stuff because it's so different from anything. Like, I don't know. Same with the first one. It's like they made their own like genre of music like for those games. It's really cool. Anybody want to talk about the music in Zelda? Like,
yes,
I could talk about the music in Zelda all day.
Me too. That's in my top 3, I think.
It's either my favorite. I can't decide on 1 or 2, but Baltus, go ahead.
The music itself, the way they utilize the music, like I saw a lot of complaints about, well, there is no music. The subtlety of the music, the way the music builds when it needs to.
It's so organic.
It is so organic. It's not intrusive, except when even like when enemies come up, I wouldn't say the music is intrusive. It just kind of happens, and it alerts you to things in a natural feeling way. And then when it doesn't need to, it can be serene, and it just fits with this natural, beautiful world. Breath of the Wild definitely is my favorite music of the year when it comes to games.
The Terrytown theme alone, like, is one of the best themes in any Zelda game, I think.
Yeah. Oh man. And I love when you're putting that town together as you're recruiting. You're having to go to like the different
building and stuff.
Yeah, like each race it uses like a different instrument that kind of, I guess, encompasses or whatever they think best represents that one. Like the Gorons, I think, is some brass instrument. But anyway, so it takes like a different instrument from each one of these, the different races as you're recruiting them in to build up Terrytown. And then they're all the same. It's all the same theme, but it fills out to add all the instruments when you get the overall Terrytown theme. So that's just like one little neat thing. That's kind of the game in general. Like all the, there's plenty of music in it. I think people just, it's kind of,
I think
split people because it doesn't have big you know, like if I really love Mario Odyssey's music. Like for me, it's either 2 or 1. Mario Odyssey, I'm flip flopping between the two. But with Mario Odyssey, you've got like the Forest Kingdom, really catchy theme. And Breath of the Wild, you're not going to get that, but that's just because of how Breath of the Wild is. It's not you're not going to be running around the overworld with a theme playing. It's not supposed to be like that. That's from some people. I mean, it could be cool and have that, but I think the choice they made was really good.
I think oh shoot, what did I just do? I think a lot of the people like kind of wanted that traditional like Zelda music in it, which it doesn't have like at all. But I don't think like you could make that game. Like it wouldn't be the same type of game if you had like the overworld music just like blaring like throughout that game or whatever. Like you just couldn't do it. But yeah, like that's the Breath of the Wild music is stuff that I like fall asleep to like at night. Like I tell freaking my Echo or whatever to like play that like as I lay down to go to sleep, and it's just like so good. It's just so like relaxing. Like even outside of the game, like it works so well in the game, but like I could just listen to that while I like work on something or whatever. Or, like just kind of turn my brain off and just have that music like in the background.
Yeah, they have a lot of Easter eggy type stuff in the music as well, which I know that doesn't really like me game of the year or music of the year, but it was cool climbing up like Death Mountain, and then it used the Death Mountain dungeon level 9 was blended in there, and the Karamek mentioned about Epona's theme is worked into. When is it? Is it whenever you're getting on a horse, or I can't remember how you trigger that? But
It's at the stables, I think. Too.
Oh yeah. But yeah, they did a lot of little things like that. But yeah, it's Mario Odyssey and that are 1, 2.
I was going to ask you what your second one was. If it
yeah, Mario Odyssey just to me had it's like the inverse or the yin to the yang of Breath of the Wild. Yeah. It has a bunch of really good, memorable, stuff that you'll be humming type deal where,
I disliked a lot of the Mario Odyssey music.
I loved it.
Like I just like there were some good tracks, but like a lot of the tracks in that game to me were like really forgettable. I don't know, like the Forest theme, I really like that. Obviously the New Donk City song with what's the name of that song? It's like Jump. Shoot, I can't remember. But the one that
I don't know the name of the song.
Jump Up Superstar.
Jump Up Superstar. Yeah, that was really catchy. Like it had some really good music, but I don't know. I thought a lot of it was kind of just like Mario music. I don't know. Maybe I just not super huge into like that type of like Mario type music or whatever. But I don't know. Like I thought what they did in Mario plus Rabbids, like I liked that a lot more, just because it was like its own take on like a lot of that kind of music. But
I thought Odyssey's music was great. It was very, very good, I thought.
Yeah, my favorite like tracks out of all the Odyssey, my number 1 is the Forest Kingdom.
Yeah, I think that
close to it is Bowser's Castle though. All of Bowser's Castle, Planet World, whatever. That was really, really good.
Yes.
I don't talk about Nier because I think I'm the only one that really like played much of Nier here, but that's like some of my favorite music. Kevy, I know you played some Nier, but I don't know how much you played, Kevy. How far did you get into it? Like, no spoilers, but did you beat it all?
No, I'm hours in.
Oh, okay, see, yeah, but I mean, you played enough to like.
I've listened to the
music,
soundtrack.
Yeah, like that's the soundtrack that I listen to like more than like anything. Like it's not just some of my favorite like game music of this year. It's some of my favorite like game music of all time. Just because like the way that music plays through the environments of that game like just set such a good tone like in what you're doing. And I don't know, I've never had like it's kind of like the Breath of the Wild thing for like, but like turned to like 11 like for me, just because I don't know, like I was talking about earlier, that entertainment, or not the entertainment, the amusement park like stage or whatever. Like when you walk up on there and you see all these robots just like throwing confetti in the air, like this abandoned amusement park. There's just like there's some music that plays that just like I don't know, it, like almost took my breath away. Like I had to set the controller down when it happened. Wish I could play the track for you, but you guys should definitely look that up. Yeah, I don't know. It just fits so well with that game that it's. I don't know. That kind of has to do with story too, though, because it kind of like they don't really tell like the story through the music, but it just fits so well in like every part of that game. I don't know, but I know a lot of you guys didn't play that, so I don't think it's like.
Yeah, I hear the music. Yeah, I can't speak on it all because I've put that game aside to play because it's Platinum Games, and I've liked pretty much all of the games that they've done. So
I'm yearning to play it too.
Oh man!
Yeah, so
I can't wait till you guys play it so we can talk about how good the music is.
I'm listening to some of it right now on YouTube, and it is good, but maybe I have to experience it as it is.
Like I think
I
it's
don't know. It
good by itself too, just because I listen to it like in my car and stuff. But yeah,
there's some music in games, like for example, Red Dead Redemption, when you cross the border for the first time into Mexico. Me and Local talk about that all the time. That to me is the best soundtrack.
That's the kind of experience that I had with Nier or whatever. Like in a lot of parts of that game.
From what I'm listening to right now, it is no Mass Effect 2.
I love Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 is one of my favorite games, but it's
Suicide Squad.
It's better. It's better than Mass Effect 2. Whew, man. Okay. Like yeah, Nier would be number 1 for me, and then it'd probably be Zelda and then Persona. But I feel like we should talk about the Cuphead music a lot too.
I did real quick. I did like Nier's music, but it reminded me so much of Final Fantasy 13 that all I could think of. All I could think of was finishing Nier and going and playing Final Fantasy 13.
I think it's so much better. Like I like Final Fantasy 13 probably a lot more than a lot of people, but I don't know, the music in that game it just felt like Final Fantasy music to me. I don't know.
It did. It really did.
Yeah, and I don't think Nier's like on that level because it's like something I'd never like heard before. I don't know.
I didn't Final Fantasy win our best soundtrack last year. Final Fantasy
14?
15 might have.
I think it did. Yeah.
I think it did, yeah.
I think didn't 15 like mop every category last year?
Yeah, 15 was game of the year.
Was it? I think it deserved to be. It was a really good game.
Yeah, I think we had like every category was other games, and then we got to the game of the year, and we were all like, "Shit, we really loved Final Fantasy 15 game of the year."
Yeah. What else was last year? Like Doom and stuff like that. But
in retrospect, I don't know if I'd vote for it still.
Last year was a good year.
What else?
This year has been an amazing year.
Yeah. Last year, I think the highs were really high, but there weren't as much of them as there are like this year.
2018. Well, we'll get to our most anticipated, but things were bound to get delayed, but 2018 is looking pretty solid.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so what are we gonna do with this list? I think
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. I think Zelda might have like the most consensus. Just because I could fight for Nier like all day, but like if you guys haven't played it and stuff, then it's not gonna be up there. But
yeah, I think like Zelda would be number 1 for me, and Odyssey probably number 2. Like they're both incredible soundtracks, but I think that as much as I liked the music in both of them, I think that the fact that Zelda used it in such a very good way probably puts it at number 1 for me.
Yeah, I'm like not a music buff at all, so I kind of disqualify myself. I just say what sounds good to me, so y'all might know music better than I do.
I mean,
probably
that's what it is. It's all like up to your own taste and stuff. Like when it comes down to it, but I don't know. I really liked the Zelda music a whole lot, and like when people say that like this game didn't have music, like it did. Like I take a little bit of offense to that, just because I think the way that they use the music so well, and you couldn't do like I've been playing through a lot of OOT, believe it or not. And like the music in that game is obviously like it might be my favorite Zelda music, but like you couldn't do like the overworld theme and like the dungeon themes and stuff like that in Breath of the Wild. Like it just wouldn't fit.
One complaint I do have with Breath of the Wild, I do think they could have done better dungeon themes, like because they use the same one in every. Well, pretty much. I'm trying to think. They maybe for the DLC, I think that dungeon might be different, but yeah, overall, I love the music. I do have complaints about that game, of course, but I loved it. Anyways, yeah.
So, Zelda. Okay, let's go Zelda, Mario, and Nier for top 3.
Honestly,
Sounds
I
good to
think
me.
Mario Rabbids deserves a spot there too.
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
music in Rabbids we talked about it, like it was really good.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Zelda or Odyssey good, but
No, definitely
it
not.
was
I'm
like
saying.
it definitely
I liked
deserved
it
to be in the
too, and
conversation.
it's number 4 for me, but number 1 for me is just so much higher than anything on this list. I mean, Nier obviously, but like
I can't wait to play Nier. I'll hopefully get to play it this month.
oh, it's so good. I can let you borrow it after I beat it, or I mean after I beat it again. Oh, there's so many playthroughs in the game. Well, I mean that's okay. I can go with Rabbids for number 3. It pains me, but we'll go with Zelda as the winner, with Odyssey number 2 and Rabbids number 3. Persona 5 also has some great music.
We need to put on our wiki like when we do our game of the year stuff, just so we can look back. Because how many years have we been doing this now?
This is our 3rd year. I've got the list and everything
Really?
still, so.
I feel like we've done it longer than that.
15, 16. This might be our 4th. I think we started in 15, actually. So, yeah.
So we did like game year 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, Zelda Breath of the Wild is the winner. So, congrats, Zelda. You won your first category. I'm sure there'll be others. I think we only have 2 categories left, or 3 categories really. Most anticipated.
Oh, God.
But well, most anticipated will be pretty quick. So we're swapping over to best story.
Yeah, I had a tough time with this because I mean I played a lot of games this year, but none of them. I don't want to spoil like my upcoming stuff, but I played a lot of games. Played some of the best games I've ever played in my life. However, I don't feel like story was the besides Hellblade. I don't feel like story was like the focal point of any of them. Yeah, like I played so many good games. Like you'll hear me talk about Zelda a lot later. One of my favorite games, maybe my favorite game ever. But
I feel like story was like some of the best this year, like for me.
Yeah, it's probably just because the games I guess I played this year. But
why is Madden on the list and not What Remains of Edith Finch?
I could put What Remains of Edith Finch on the list. I just didn't play that. I played the story mode in Madden though, and it was amazing. So that's why it's on the list. Because they actually added like a story mode into Madden this year. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but it's like you're a kid. I think you start, you're going to like the combine or whatever, and you like kind of play your way like as a starter in the league, and like I don't know, like all the decisions and stuff that you have to make like along the way. Like it's just a really good like told
That's
story. Yeah.
Football RPG. I know that like fantasy football has been kind of said over the years, oh, it's just Dungeons and Dragons, but with football players.
Yeah, it's it's really cool what they did with this Madden. It was like they tried to do it a couple years ago with NBA 2K or whatever, where they did like Spike Lee did the story in it, but it was just awful. Like it was really bad. Like you're like best friend like shows up at the end like as a ghost and some shit. It's just really weird. But yeah. But I will add what remains of Edith Finch on this list. You want to talk about it a little bit? Like, I mean, I bought it and I really meant to play it, but I have not yet.
It's really good. It's listed on Steam as a walking simulator, which is probably fair, because it is a pure narrative game that you go through. It has a huge Nordic feel to it, and I'm not sure if that's just because that's what the designers are from, or if that's what they were going for, or maybe both. But it like it kind of shows it's not like a normal Western style story. Like there's elements, it's realistic story that has just lots of elements of things that don't seem like they could have actually occurred, but they're just kind of building up the mythology of this family that you're kind of living through the past. So I think it took Best Story at the Game Awards.
Yeah, it's winning a lot of
really
like,
cool. It reminded
Best Story
me
stuff.
of it's story heavy. In that way, it reminded me of Firewatch from last year.
Oh, I love Firewatch so much. It's one of my favorite games.
Hey, Rob, I didn't nominate Tekken 7.
Yeah, I put it on there. I thought the story mode was good, wasn't it?
I mean, it was alright.
Okay, I'll take it off right now.
I mean, it's fine.
Cool. Yeah, Edith Finch is probably the next game that I'll play. It's just like 3 hours long, which I just need to like sit down.
Yeah, it's not very long.
Play it. Kevin, you want to talk about Doki Doki?
Alright, hell yeah, me and Phil can do it. Or I can do it, alright.
So imagine you have a harem of waifus.
I'm listening.
Go on.
And your next door neighbor, the true
Phil's
one.
already sold it faster than Kevin sold it.
Yeah, a lot.
Wants you to
Yeah.
join the literature club at your local Japanese
Okay, now
high
it
school.
sounds boring. Phil, go.
So
Back to
You're
the
trying-
waifus.
you're trying to get into all their pants, and then crazy stuff starts happening.
Crazy.
That's basically all we can say.
I didn't finish Doki Doki as much as.
Oh my god, Rob,
I
you did
know.
like 4 weeks.
I couldn't get into it. Like, I couldn't get past, like, the beginning parts in that game. I just did not want to play it anymore because it was so boring.
The intro is very slow.
Like, I played it for a good, like, 2 hours and was like,
It's
I
like
can't
any
keep doing this.
relationship. That's why Rob's single.
Okay.
Rob couldn't get any of the waifus to like him.
Apparently. But, yeah, I don't know. It's not my type of game, I guess. But
Dating
I mean, that's
sims
like every
aren't really
visual
my
novel.
thing. Anyways, visual novels aren't my kind of
Well,
thing either.
Visual
I played,
novels are like
I played
70
Pyre
hours.
this year, and I loved it, and that's basically
That's not
like,
a visual novel,
it's
though.
basically a visual. It's like 50% visual novel. Like, it has gameplay in it, but like the story.
Yeah, it's a game. It's like Metal Gear Solid 4. You wouldn't call Metal Gear Solid 4 a movie.
I mean, no, but
Yeah.
Well, no,
checkmate.
so like the whole intro, if it doesn't like catch you, it is pretty slow. But it plays out completely straight as a visual novel dating sim. But you start to see like a deeper level of personality to the characters than you would in an ordinary dating sim. I think it's like one of the things I'm not super familiar with, but like the characters have very realistic psychology attributed to them, and it explains why later on when the game turns and it starts getting super meta. But it was interesting.
I
to
did
see.
hear
Like, I
it's
did
not what it seems.
yeah, which is
I
why
have
I was
not
like
heard
interested in
anything
it.
of.
But
Yeah, to not. I mean, I'm sure all the people in the chat are aware of what happens. What was interesting to me the most, having not been spoiled on it on my way through, was the second act, where you go through the exact same game minus one of the characters, and it just felt to me like a super good. It was like It's a Wonderful Life, where what would the world be like without this person? Because it's kind of how it plays out until
That's
stuff starts getting even weirder.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. That like from the end of Act 1, well, I guess the rest of it, but Act 2 specifically, I enjoyed it for that aspect as well. I really loved that part.
Cool. I'll probably finish it eventually. I don't know.
You won't.
I want to, but I don't know if I will.
We know you won't.
Why did I put Cuphead on this list? Like
Yeah.
the story in that game is like simple, very simple, which can be okay, but like I don't know.
It's not any new narrative.
No.
Devil fucking steals your souls and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like it's a
nominate
cool
Meat
setup.
Boy.
It's a cool setup and stuff, but what about Xenoblade 2? I did not play Xenoblade 2, so you guys can talk about that.
Trash. Fight me IRL.
Did you play it?
I didn't. I played the first one. I learned my lesson.
I just got back. What did I miss?
Oh.
Did you play Xenoblade?
Yeah, I think he's
Played
the one that put it on
Xenoblade
there.
2.
You did play Xenoblade 2?
I'm not done with it because it was like 1,000,000 hours long, but yeah,
Yeah.
I played it.
How you
What
liking
about
it?
them?
That's what we're talking about now, Xenoblade 2. I said I didn't play most
Oh.
of it, but
yeah, who put it on the
Baldur's-
list?
Baldur's called trash.
I don't think it's trash. I think it's really good, but
See, everything before the butter's bullshit.
but,
Gotcha.
I think the story is good. I don't like the writing though. It's
Is it just not localized very well, or
no, I don't think it's. Sorry, I'm eating pumpkin bread at the same time. I don't know if it's localization. I mean, it could be. No, I don't think so though, because I've played a little bit with the subtitle or the other language options, which you have to download separately. But no, it seems like that was the feel they're trying to go for. It's very, and not that anime is like bad. I enjoy a lot of anime, but I feel like the story they're trying to do, I don't know. Sometimes you can do like cheesy dialogue and stuff, and it hit well. And I'm not saying that this is like the story's bad. Like I think the story like they set up and like the motivation for you to play story wise is fine. But I think the writing in it is sometimes a little bit. It feels a little bit weird. There's some heavy cringe in it, but that just might be me. But I
No,
really
that
like
sums up everything that I felt about the first game.
the game. Though I like the gameplay, and I like I said, I like the story. I just think a lot of the dialogue and stuff is really weird.
It just like gets too like anime tropey kind of.
Yeah, and I love anime, but
It's like I got wall scrolls right
I
now.
love anime. Okay.
well, I love anime.
Kermit just pointed out I didn't have Hellblade on this list, so yeah, that's definitely getting added right now.
Yeah, I swear I added Hellblade.
You guys
It's on
probably
there
did.
multiple times.
So yeah, it's gonna be on there now. But let's see.
I don't want to talk crap about Xenoblade because I do really like that game.
I want to play it. Do you need to play the first one in order to?
No.
No. Okay, good.
not at all.
That makes me want to play it. Then.
It's like
Here we go.
it's in the same way, similar vein as like Final Fantasy. It's like the same world or universe, I should say.
Doesn't it take place on the same two big guys?
I haven't played the first one at all. This is my
okay.
this is my first.
I do believe it does, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like Final Fantasy then, actually.
Yeah.
Wumbo says Hellboy 3 is Bert's favorite movie. Hellboy 3? It's not a Hellboy 3. You almost got
Yeah, The
Hellboy
Shape
2.
of Water.
Hellboy 2 is amazing.
I haven't seen any of the Hellboys.
What? I thought I let you borrow like Hellboy 2.
They're a lot of fun.
Hellboy 2 is so good. Yeah, that's my boy del Toro. I'll talk about Nier a little bit. The game is pretty anime, but it's like super good anime.
And the dub is actually really good.
The dub is like super good.
I usually hate dubs, and this didn't make me cringe.
Yeah, Nier is like that's another game I think where you can't tell that story any other way besides like a video game, because that's got some video game ass stuff in that game. It's really cool. I don't want to go through any like spoilers or stuff because there's like a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in that game. But
yeah, I've gone this far without spoilers, Rob. So
okay.
You haven't played it, Cabby?
No, I haven't
Yeah,
finished it.
he's a couple hours into it. But like, you basically are told like at the beginning of the game, like all these, you got to go down there and basically like make the world okay and destroy like all of the robots that are running around by like your human counterparts. Like you're on this base or whatever, and it's like all androids. Like you don't ever see any humans basically at the beginning of the game or anything. But you get down there and you start just like destroying like tons and tons of robots, and then you kind of just come like upon some robots that are like, hey, we're kind of just like here doing our own thing, so maybe you shouldn't just murder us. And you kind of have to like, I don't know, story kind of like picks up from there. We're like, well, should I like destroy these robots like to make the world like okay for humans again, or is like something else going on? But that's like a really basic like setup for it. There's a whole lot more stuff that goes on. Like it's pretty deep, but very, very good game. It's probably one of my favorite like video game stories. Like it's kind of like a way to describe it, which I heard some people doing. It's like Metal Gear Solid if like Metal Gear Solid like made sense. Which I love Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I know you were gonna say that.
Dare those people.
Said that. But Metal Gear Solid, I love the Metal Gear Solid games, but this is like that, but like I don't know, like less like I mean it's still really crazy, but like maybe like less abstract kind of. I don't know. It's very, very good. One of my favorite like sci-fi stories, like in general. But I really like that whole like setup, like robots like conscious, like are they like alive kind of type thing. So it really.
What does it mean to be human?
Yeah, that whole thing. But yep. So that's my my little pitch on Nier. It's so good. Can't wait to see you guys play it.
I don't know. You're trying to not sell it to me. Like I'm gonna not play it now.
Okay, you're missing out. Just listen to the soundtrack at least. You want to talk about
trash?
Go ahead.
Cabby, how far did you say you are in Nier?
Just like a couple hours.
You got to the amusement park, right?
No.
What? It's like one of the first things.
Way to go, spoiling. Telling him there's an amusement park.
It's still very, very good.
All right, next game.
I won't. Oh, there's one thing I want to say, but I don't want to. It's not really a spoiler.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like so good.
Cabby, have you gotten the ending where you don't do
I haven't
anything?
beaten it once.
No, it's not. There's just a part where you're
There's
asked
like
to do something.
19
Just put your
things.
controller down,
For how long?
and the game will end, and the credits roll.
Yeah, there's like 19 endings to that game.
Yeah, I know that. How long do you have
Right,
to
I
sit
think
down
there's
for?
like 27. There's like one for every letter of the alphabet, but only there's 5 or 6 real ones, and the rest are just kind of gag endings.
Yeah, for sure.
Like putting your controller down?
26 endings says already.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Dang.
Like putting your controller down and not do. They're like, hey, you should go do this. Just don't ever do it.
Yeah. You want to talk about Zelda? No.
Listen,
Wow,
we still. What did Anuma say? You'll know exactly where this fits on the timeline. Yeah, now
I don't
Hey.
care about any of that timeline stuff. I'm just being honest.
Where does it fit on the
that's
timeline?
cool, but nobody knows.
That's the theory on it. I think we all talked about it.
Who
We
does?
all- But didn't we all think that it was a pretty good thought that it's kind of like a culmination of all the timelines merging into like one at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
I like the story. It's really, I mean, I think there's better ways that they could have delivered it, but it's more. I think the best parts of the stories are more the individual. I guess you'd say like the side quests and some of it. But the big main story is pretty Zelda. So it's nothing like revolutionary. But it wasn't like it was bad. I enjoyed it, but
I think a lot of the writing in that game is good, but the overall story, like I don't go to Zelda games for like story really that much though, because like I know what I'm gonna get usually. So like I don't really count that as like something against it, but I also don't think it's like best story of the year because of that.
yeah, same with like Mario and stuff. It's like it's not gonna be like a knock on it if it didn't throw you through several twists by the end of it.
It's got to have a good setup, and I think this one had a really good setup. But yeah, I mean, like that's not what kept me going along in that game was the story. Whereas a game like Nier that like drove me through with its story.
Yeah, with Zelda, like I like the characters and stuff is important and stuff, and the setup for it was really cool. You know, with the
memories and everything.
Yeah, none of it was, I'd say, like super groundbreaking, or not that it has to be, but
I think
it was just. I think it was just good. It was okay. It was a story. Go ahead, Paul.
I think so. One of the things that I've always loved in open world games, Fallout and Skyrim and Breath of the Wild 2, the overall story always kind of is just there.
I agree with
that. Then a well-crafted open world kind of tells a story in itself.
Yes.
The way side quests and stuff happen. Like in Fallout 4, one that I always was reminded of is you walk into a bombed out bank, and if you look around, you can tell that when shit hit the fan, the bank was being robbed, and you can find the bodies of the people that were trying to rob the bank. You can find their bodies next to their getaway car outside, and the money bags and stuff. And there's no text there. There's absolutely nothing except like if you don't see those images with your eyes, you'll never know that was happening. And Breath of the Wild did some cool stuff like that really made me think of really like past Zelda games. Like a lot of the ruined towns and stuff. Like there's that ruined how their names are throwbacks to the Link's Awakening names. Like there are Link's Awakening references all over the Breath of the Wild map.
Yeah, I think they even have like Phantom Hourglass, because didn't we go through all of them? There were, and you go there, and there's always kind of like little Easter eggy type things that kind of nod to that, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think that they do a really good job of like visual storytelling, like in those games, like without saying anything, just like the environments and stuff, like Baltus was talking about. But
Kermit mentions a good one. That field of rusted guardians, and it's like, whoa, something went down here. And way late into our playthrough, we saw the memory for that.
This is why I wanted the lore category, because like I feel like this kind of stuff like is that kind of like untold story that like unfolds or whatever.
I mean, I think that Breath of the Wild, I don't know if it's my favorite story of the year, but like I think it's a really great story, and I don't think it's just lore. Like I think if you want a story in that game, then it's there, and it's a really good one. But if you don't play the game for the story, or if that's not what you want from a Zelda game, you just want to experience the world, like you don't have to deal with the story, because it's just sort of that setup's there, but it's not something you have to continuously like quote unquote progress down. But if you're into the story, it's not just like the backstory of it. It's not just the lore. Like there was a story there, and it's a really good one.
See, I guess that's kind of where I
if you want it,
because I just didn't think it was a really good story. I thought it was fine, but I don't know. I thought it was a really good like Zelda story, but like I don't know, like I didn't think it was like the best told story. I don't know.
Yeah, I like some of the moments, and like for example, the Iwata tribute and things like that. It has a lot of. You can even find the Lon Lon Ranch, the kind of the remnants of it. But those are all kind of Easter egg types stuff, environmental storytelling, I guess you'd say. But there's a lot of that, and I think the characters have some strong, like, for example, my favorite would be a lot of the Zora characters with Mifa and Sidon, and
I liked a lot of the characters.
I love how they hate Link so much.
yeah, yeah. I love
So
the Zora
great.
in general in this. I like how they look in this game. They're a lot more colorful, and they're more varied and things like that. Their look is pretty neat, and I like some of the Gerudo too. I love that game, but I'll stop there.
It's real good. Okay, do we want to talk about Hellblade next? I think that's a game that a lot of us played that we can talk about.
Hell yeah.
I feel like I would just kind of repeat what were we with the best IP, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that story. Like I said, it's a 8 to 10, I guess 6 to 10 hour, depending on your pace, but great sound design. Probably if we had a category, I think hands down
is so good. You have to play that game with headphones.
And yeah, it tells the story, and you could probably beat it in like 5 casual sittings, and it's really short and concise, and I loved its story.
The motion capture in that game too is just like amazing. It's probably the best motion capture in a game that I've ever like seen. And I think that tells a lot of it too. Just like the facial animations and stuff of the main character is just, man, like you can tell story just like looking at her face alone in some of those parts.
My favorite part of the storytelling was the voices you hear, because it's part of the sound design is really well done.
Yeah, and I can't think of a game that's like done that before.
I played it for like
Darkness kind of.
Yeah, kind of. But like I played it for like 5 hours in one sitting, and then like it messed me up for like a couple hours after. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you're like trying to hear like those. I don't know, because the voices are talking to you throughout the whole game, and it's kind of cool the way that they do it too. How they like kind of like tell you like if you're doing something like wrong, or like guiding you kind of through like I think it's just a really interesting concept of a way to like tell you where to go in a game.
I liked it a lot. It's a lot better than just like a giant arrow. Go here.
Yeah, for sure.
Some more immersive, and you gotta play it with playing it with a headset makes it so much better.
Mm-hmm. I like that they did their like due diligence to like research that stuff in the game too, because they could have just done that without like, I don't know, working on getting it right and stuff. But like from what all I hear, like apparently that game like speaks to people in like a lot of like ways that are going through stuff with like mental illnesses and stuff, which is really cool and interesting that they put the time into like research all that.
I like that they tricked us by telling us that if you die too many times, you die forever.
I was so like afraid.
Now, yeah, me too. I was panicking.
I still haven't died.
But I died so much in that game. By the end, I figured it out. By the end, I was like, okay.
I looked at
what is it? I haven't died once.
Like, it's that, you know how this stuff like goes up your arm or whatever, like whatever. Like,
right.
Apparently, that's supposed to like take over, and it's supposed to be like game over. Like a screen comes up in that game that's like, if you die enough times, we'll erase your like game file.
Yeah, but it never actually will happen. Apparently.
So is there something like a fake out, or is it just?
No.
Yeah. It was just a pre-release fake out, and they told
it in the
you,
game, which is so weird. Like,
oh, I think they did. Yeah, you're right. Like the.
I think what happened, because I watched the what was it called? Like 3 months after the game came out, type thing, and they kind of went over the release and everything, and they said that there was. Like people had criticized that mechanic, and it sounds like they patched it out either super early on or right before the game came out.
Oh, okay, that would make a
must
whole
have been
lot of sense.
super early on, because nobody's been able to prove the existence of the mechanic, so that's why it's the theory is that they just lied to drum up interest, which sucks because the game's great in itself and doesn't need to.
Yeah. Yep. So that would be high on my list. Hellblade would be. About RE7. I think a lot of us played RE7. I watched Megan play RE7, and that was very entertaining.
I loved it just because it was a soft reboot. Like, it's in the same universe.
Yeah.
But, you know, it brings it back to RE1, where it's you in a house. There's some stuff going on, and that's it. Like, that's all you have to go off of. And then you progressively get more and more deeper into why it's happening, what exactly happened. Like, it just reminded me of RE1 a lot, which I love. It's like one of my favorite games.
It's the only Resident Evil game that actually felt scary. Like the old Resident Evil games, the only reason those things scared me is the controls were horrible. Like something's like I would panic because of the controls.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the setting was kind of like off-putting in those games, but
it's unsettling. But yeah, part of the scary comes from the controls.
The GameCube, the first Resident Evil, I'd seen it played on the PlayStation 1, but I had never played it. My first experience with Resident Evil was the GameCube remake, and that one scared me.
Before Resident Evil 4?
I don't. Which came out first, the GameCube remake or Resident Evil 4?
I thought Resident Evil 4 came out.
Yeah.
No,
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Daniel's brother Matt. Like, I think he played it in one sitting. I bought the game, went over to his house on a Friday, and popped it in Friday night, and all one shot.
So you didn't even play the game you bought?
I played it after. Well, I eventually did, but that first night, I'd never played it before, and we were just Capcom had done that deal with Nintendo where they had exclusive stuff, rights to, or they were going to make exclusive games for them for a while. So we were excited. We got it, and I watched Matt play it. It was awesome, and I played it after he beat it. I still didn't play it for 6 months or something later. But it was awesome.
Yeah, RE7 was just great. A really good game. It's I don't know. Everyone's sleeping on it right now. Because I guess because it came out in January.
Because it came out so early. But I thought the story was really good in it. What I saw and stuff, I think it did a really good job of when they first announced that game, I thought it was gonna be Condemned. So I was like, okay, I'm really into this.
No one expected it to be Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, no, nobody did, and I think a lot of people didn't know what to expect going into it. How are they gonna do this first person RE7 game? And they could have messed it up, but I think they did a really good job pulling it off and stuff. And a lot of that has to do with the characters in the game and how they told that story and everything.
Yeah, it's making me really excited for remake too.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I think Resident Evil 7 was probably my favorite story of the year, and a lot of it had to do with the characters. I mean, they did so many really good things with those characters, and it's sort of the same way in a lot of ways as Breath of the Wild was. The story that's there is really good, but to really get into it, you have to. A lot of it comes from that explorative type of storytelling. You explore the house, you explore the other areas of the game, and as you do that, you're getting that story in addition to the really great character work that they're already doing. And I think it tied into the universe super well. I mean, I don't consider it a soft reboot either. Like Kevin mentioned, it's especially with the post game content, it definitely ties into the franchise as a whole, and it does it in a really cool way that tries to bring back fans of the series that did not like what 6 did, that sort of turned away when 5 came out. It brings you back to the house, but it reintroduces a very survival horror type of gameplay, and I don't know, it just does it in a really great way with great characters, and I thought it's a good game, and I think the story is
what the next game in the franchise is going to be for sure, which I wasn't very much after 6. So
yeah, I think, and this is really just something that a franchise type of game can do. But I think one really positive aspect of the story is the fact that it does it gives the potential to lead into something later on. And I mean, I know a new IP, it'll have to do whatever or whatever, but like with something that's so firmly established on a set timeline in a franchise that's been going 21 years or so right now.
Yeah.
The fact that this one had a good enough story that it makes people want to play the next one. I think that says something about the story that it had.
For sure. I was sad that I didn't get to play it like when all the hype was going on, but I'm glad that I didn't get like stuff spoiled for me, and I kind of just got to watch like Megan play through it. So
it came out right before PAX, and I had to like pull an all-nighter right before like I flew out for PAX last year just to finish
Yeah, I
it.
remember that.
It was wild.
What else we got? We got to start narrowing down this list. It's hard though. There's a lot of good story games.
There's one that's not on the list that I put it on my list. Didn't make this one. I haven't played it yet, but it's the second episode basically of To the Moon. It's Finding Paradise. And knowing the story of To the Moon, I haven't beaten Finding Paradise yet. I just wanted to mention it because of the story of To the Moon. Like this is the next episode of it, basically. So, To the Moon has made a lot of people very emotional, including myself. Like that was a very good game.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
really want to play it.
Gut wrenching almost. So I've been looking forward to Finding Paradise. It came out finally the 17th of December, which is, I know the story is going to be good.
Not a knock against it at all, but because the first one, To the Moon, was made in RPG Maker. Like, I'm just curious, is this one made was this one made in RPG Maker, or was it like not?
Yes,
it was. Okay,
and that's definitely not a knock to it.
No, it's not.
It shouldn't be.
I didn't know if they like coded it themselves and all that stuff. But I want to play To the Moon a whole lot. So, okay, what else we got here? I think we've talked about everything. Just kind of narrowing it down now. We might just have to vote for this one because I think we're all kind of like varied a little bit. My top three would be Nier, Hellblade, and Persona 5 probably, but that's different than anybody else's top three. So, what do you guys think? What's a game that we can all kind of get behind on this list?
I don't know. I think Hellblade #1, just because.
Yeah, I think so.
It seems like the consensus is
I love Breath of the Wild, but I think Hellblade deserves it for what it did.
Yeah.
Let's email them and let them know real quick. TSG gave him best story.
Best story.
I maybe think for this list, maybe it's Hellblade, Zelda, and Resident Evil.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's okay.
Cool. And yeah, I think Hellblade takes it. Mainly, I mean, the story in that was very good. Like, I like the story, but the storytelling in it was amazing. And I think a lot of that holds true for Zelda as well. Cool. All right. Well, there we go. We got Hellblade winning Best Story with Zelda and Resident Evil 7 in second, or the runners-up. But you guys all need to play Nier because it's really, really good. Also, Persona 5. I would probably argue more for that if I played more than like past the first dungeon in it. But Persona 5 is really, really good story. Oh, also Pyre. I didn't talk much about Pyre, but Pyre's good. Okay, let's move on to most anticipated game. This is one that I didn't. I'm just now like kind of putting the list together. I'll say it really quick. but because there's so many games to look forward to in 2018, I think. So
There's so much.
It's ridiculous.
I had to stop myself because I kept going.
I was reading that list and I was like, "There's no way I can put like all these on here." So
like Britt was there with me when I was putting it on there. I'm like, I gotta stop.
Yeah. So let's just get it started. JD, what game are you looking forward to, or what games? I guess we should start. Are you looking forward to most?
Yeah, I don't know what game I'm looking forward to the most out of all of them, but just my list as it is, like I stopped with like 10 of them, maybe more. Bloodstained, Runner 3, Split Trip Runner 3. They do amazing work there. Fire Emblem Switch, Jurassic World Evolution. I almost forgot about that one.
What is that? Okay, go ahead.
I'm glad I didn't. Kirby Switch, Yoshi Switch, Mega Man 11 looks really cool. Sea of Thieves comes out really soon. That looks like a lot of fun. Eater and Crossing Souls. So Eater and Crossing Souls, I'm not sure if they're 18, but I've been looking forward to them since early last year. Crossing Souls was at PAX South this year, so I think it's going to be coming out. If I had to bet, but the other ones are like Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball Z, but I'll kind of talk about those.
Yeah, I just added a few to this list. I know it's like not everything that like we're all looking forward to, but I got Fighter Z on here, Monster Hunter World, Ni no Kuni 2, Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, Kingdom Hearts 3 if it comes out this year, Bloodstained, and Fire Emblem Switch. But there's so many games. I'm really looking.
I might be biased on Bloodstained, but
why would you be biased on Bloodstained, baby?
I don't know. Just have a feeling.
Okay. Kevin, what games are you looking forward to most? I'm gonna guess DBZ Fighter Z.
Yeah, but it comes out in next week, so
it comes out in less than a week now.
Yeah, but I put Kingdom Hearts on there, and Metroid I'm looking forward to. I don't have a Switch yet, but I am looking forward to it. I'll probably end up getting the Switch when that comes out.
Yeah, I'm just excited.
Bloodstained, because I've been wanting to play a good Castlevania, Metroidvania for a while.
Yellow Pepper said Frostpunk. Excited for that because we saw it at PAX and it looks really good.
I didn't see it. Frostpunk. I'll look that up. Monster Hunter for PC, definitely. That's about it for me.
Want me to go through my list?
Yeah, what you got, Britt?
Is my mic working, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't heard you
I've got
now, but we can hear you now.
Huge list. Okay. Ni no Kuni 2 is probably what I'm looking forward to. I don't know. There's so many games looking forward to. So I'll start with Ni no Kuni 2. Just finished Ni no Kuni about 2 weeks ago, I think. And I loved it. It's one of my favorite stories of all time. But, all right. Bayonetta 3, we don't have a release date on that. Oh, crap. Sorry, you're hearing my PlayStation. Let me turn my TV off. There we go. Yeah, Bayonetta 3, we don't have a release date on that. Both of Metroid Prime 4 are rumored to be out in 2018. If they are, they're going to be way up there. Bayonetta 2 was my game of the year 2 years ago, so looking forward to Bayonetta 3. Fire Emblem. Pokemon's also another one that's rumored to be coming out in 2018. If Pokemon comes out in 2018, that might shoot right up there to the top. Mega Man 11, so excited to see Mega Man return. Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead is one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, yeah, Red Dead.
I keep forgetting about Red Dead. It's supposed to be out, isn't it?
Yeah. It comes out. The rumored release date is like middle of June, but I don't think they've given one yet.
I thought they gave one and it was supposed to be out by now.
Yeah, it got delayed. It was sometime last year, I believe, or last year, I should say. But yeah, that's pretty much my list, I guess. And Bloodstained, I'm excited for that. So yeah, Ni no Kuni 2, Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon, Fire Emblem, and Red Dead Redemption 2. And there's a lot more. The Dark Souls re-release. I could probably go on forever, but we'll just keep it for now.
I just want to hear a whole lot more about that, or whatever it's going to be. not maybe Bloodborne.
Bloodborne 2?
Yeah, maybe Bloodborne 2, whatever that's gonna be.
On one hand, I hope it's Bloodborne 2, but on the other, I hope it's not, just so
I hope
Sony
it-
can't be like,
I hope it's
all right,
Bloodborne
it's our
2.
thing.
The only reason I hope it's not is then maybe whatever it is comes to Switch.
That too.
Maybe it'll come to PS4 and Switch. Probably not. Also, Cyberpunk. I just want to hear more about Cyberpunk. Like,
I wanted to put it, but I
Half
really
of
don't know
these
when it's
games
gonna come out.
probably won't even be out this year. Metroid Prime 4, probably not. Kingdom Hearts 3, who knows? Like, I really want it to come out this year, but
That's not coming out for another
hopeful.
3 years.
yeah,
At
if
least.
ever.
Isn't the new
It's
God of
been-
War supposed to be this
Yeah, God of War
Yeah.
is coming out.
Yeah, Phil.
Nice.
Back
Oh,
relaxers.
also, isn't Last of Us 2 supposed to come out this year?
Yeah.
Nice.
Is it
Man,
this year?
Last of
Yep.
Us, one of my favorite games,
Yep.
like ever. So I'm really excited about Last of Us.
Goodness,
2.
I feel like we need more info on Last of Us 2 if it's going to be this year.
I don't think we need anything. Let it come.
we just haven't heard anything about it. So, besides that trailer that didn't have like any gameplay in it, right? It was just like her playing the guitar and then what's his name killing dudes. Phil, what games are you looking forward to most?
We bought a PS4 just for Nino Kuni, so we're stoked for that.
Nice.
And if it comes out this year, I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4. And other than that, I'm stoked for stuff that I am making.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's my most anticipated game.
I was outed yesterday in another podcast, so I am
Wait,
the
cheating on us with other podcasts?
lead coder for Treasure Knots.
Heck yeah.
Cool.
Baby.
All right, put Treasure Knots up there, Rob.
Number 1.
So coming to Switch and also other consoles probably.
Nice. I forgot to
Are we
Mega Man
are we the
11
shill
was a
gamers
title.
now?
Yeah, so this isn't a category that like there's a winner of. It's kind of just us talking about our most anticipated games.
Yeah.
But
I can get down with that.
I think Kingdom Hearts 3, if it comes out, and Metroid Prime 4, if anything, would be the winner.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is not coming out.
Pokemon, baby.
I'll give you $5
Watch
if it
us
comes
end
out.
up with freaking like
Oh.
Final Fantasy VII Remake instead of Kingdom Hearts.
I'd be so pissed.
Me too. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in 2005.
13 years in the making.
Joseph, what are you most excited about? I think you're the only one we haven't heard from.
I mean, most of the stuff people said, but also like No More Heroes is supposed to be this year.
Oh
Yeah.
I think nobody is talking about it, but that's
Completely
crazy
forgot.
that it's coming out on the Switch this year.
So crazy.
Out of
Resident
nowhere.
Evil Remake 2 as well. Supposed to come out this year.
Remake 2 is
Two.
supposed to come out. They had rumored January, but doesn't look like they're going to hit that. Because this is what, the 20th anniversary of the original Resident Evil 2?
I think so.
Yeah, I think 2018 is. Also, what was it? Oh, like Metroid, yeah, but like Yoshi and Kirby are both supposed to come out on the Switch this year.
Yeah.
Those of them certain won't be coming out.
I'm just so excited for Red Dead 2 now that I forgot about it and Britt mentioned it. There's so many good games can come out.
There is also, JD didn't even mention it, but Runner 3 comes out pretty
Yeah, it did.
soon, I think.
I think
We did.
I mentioned it. Yeah.
But yeah, it comes. Is it a Switch exclusive or is it just coming out on Switch?
I think it's coming out on Switch. I don't think it's an exclusive.
Is it a console exclusive? Maybe.
It might be console exclusive, yeah.
I want to say there was some kind of exclusivity.
Maybe it's timed exclusive.
Yeah, it could be timed. Yeah, I think there's some. I don't know what it is, but some kind of exclusivity with Runner 3 on Switch. But yeah, I mean that one, Runner 2, was a really good game.
I've actually been replaying it because I could never play it on my laptop back before I got a desktop. And so I always played it on the Wii U, and I just replayed it on PC this last week or so. And God, it's so good.
Yeah, it's a very good game. Very, very excited about Runner 3.
Yellow Pepper says there's too many games coming out in 2018 that Britt will never play Witcher 3.
This year.
So you just need to play it before Cyberpunk comes out or whatever. Like, just get it done before then.
Like, man, I'm just so excited for Cyberpunk. Like, I won't.
Too.
Witcher's whatever to me. They're great games.
Witcher's great.
This doesn't catch me,
Great.
but Cyberpunk, I've been dying for like
I'm more
good
into
Cyberpunk
like
game.
sci-fi than I am like high fantasy and stuff, but The Witcher is just so good. Like just them like telling that kind of story like makes me excited. All right, well that's our most anticipated games. If you could take something out of that, like I don't think there's one game that we're excited about like above everything else. It's just like everything that's coming out in 2018. I don't know. Like I don't think any of us could just pick one. So.
And that's just games that have been announced. Like
Yeah.
there are games that will be coming. I know that we don't know anything about. So.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to Game of the Year. All right, we're almost there, yo.
The big list.
Is this the last one?
This is the last one, yeah. And you can go back to playing games instead of talking about them.
Skyrim Switch. Game of the year, baby.
Yeah. Anyways. How to get these to freaking like work. Okay.
I don't hear a no.
I think my sigh was enough. Okay. We got PUBG. We got RE7. We got Horizon Zero Dawn, Assassin's Creed Origins, Splatoon 2, Hellblade, Mario plus Rabbids, Wolfenstein New Colossus, Injustice 2, Destiny 2, and there's a lot more as well. I need to open this other list. Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Nier Automata, Persona 5, Xenoblade, Metroid Samus Returns, Tekken 7, SteamWorld Dig, Cuphead, and Pyre. So I'm sure we're missing some stuff from this list. Does anybody see anything that absolutely should be on here that isn't?
You need to move your list up a bit, Rob. It's getting cut off.
Yeah.
Did anyone play Assassin's Creed Origins?
I thought
Phil, but he's
I thought
not in
Phil
there.
did. Did Phil leave? Say he's not in here.
Yeah, he left the call.
No, Phil. Okay.
All right, so we can strike that.
That's a cut. I'm really excited to play Assassin's Creed Origins though as well because it looks really good and all the stuff that I've seen and like read on it like seems pretty cool. Also, I'm not sure if anybody played Wolfenstein New Colossus.
I haven't yet.
Okay, that's another one that I really want to play, but I have not. All right.
Oh, Phil's coming back. He had to
Okay.
reset his. He's on his way.
Cool. So we'll leave Origins on there for now.
Like I don't know. My personal favorite was Tekken 7, just because I got the most enjoyment out of it this year. But,
Okay,
like,
so who has an argument other than Kebby for it to be Breath of the Wild?
well, I didn't say that.
Let's get there.
Say when I think about the best game I played, probably Hellblade.
Interesting. I did not.
My favorite was Tekken.
Okay, I'm trying to think of. Man, PUBG was really good, but it's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't know. It might be like
Rob,
my
you played it
personal top
times.
10, but I mean, it probably won't even be my personal top 10. But it's a really good game, and I think it did a whole lot of like.
It's a really
does a whole lot
good
of
bad
cool
game.
stuff.
RE7 as well. I forgot about that. I keep forgetting RE7, but it's so good.
Also, Injustice 2, I got a whole lot of fun out of this year, but I mean, the story mode in that game. I think did I put it in the best story? I should have talked about it during
I
best
think so.
story. but it was really good. I played that game a whole lot for like a short while this year. So, but yeah, I don't think it hangs really. What about Xenoblade 2? Do you guys think that hangs for sure? The people that played it.
Balta says it's on his list, so it's got to be good.
Does he? I don't think.
Yeah, take a look.
He probably just wrote that down. Is Phil back in?
I'm back. My internet
Phil's
went
back.
completely down, and I had to restart. It was weird. But
Damn.
New of the Year, Zelda, and Assassin's Creed.
Okay, we were just talking about Assassin's Creed, so I think you're the only one who played it, so it's a good time to talk about it.
It is a huge step in the right direction for the franchise. Like they took the year off, and like it's also done by Ashraf Ismail, and he's the one who has done the best entries in the series, in my opinion, Black Flag and Brotherhood. So he's the director who seems to really care about forwarding the series. So there's also finally more present day story to it for the people who are way into the lore like I am. The open world feel to it is much better than when they would just lock you in a city and you'd be stuck in one district until you got halfway through the game. Like you can go pretty much anywhere, and it's like level gated, so you'll get wrecked by enemies. But if you just need to run through someplace and unlock locations and stuff, you can still do it. It's got a lot of good systems to it.
Cool. Yeah, I really want to play it. It kind of sits in the same place as Horizon Zero Dawn is a game that I really want to get to, but like I don't know, I've always really liked the Assassin's Creed games, and I haven't really played one since Black Flag, but I hear it's doing a whole lot of things right, so I want to check it out.
I'm excited that they are apparently remastering Assassin's Creed Rogue for next-gen consoles. That's good. That's a really good one too.
Which one was Rogue?
The one nobody played but me.
So it
was the one that like they released two, one on last gen, one on current gen, and that was
where
the
you
last
scale
gen,
the
right?
bayous, right?
Yeah, that's the one. No, I don't think that's a Liberation.
Yeah, that's Liberation.
Dang. Okay.
It's that one where you're in the Big Easy, right?
Okay, what else we got on here? SteamWorld Dig 2, I think JD was the only one that really got into that one, but if you want to talk about it for a while, because I never played the first one, so I didn't really want to play, like, just jump into the second one, but like it seemed really interesting, and I wanted to check it out a whole lot.
You don't need to play the first one to play the second one.
Okay.
There's some story from the first one that moves over, like the driving force of 2 is kind of the story of 1, or like one of the characters in 1. So that much, like you kind of care about what you're doing in the second one more if you played the first one, but definitely play the first one if you have a chance to, because that one is pretty short. I think you could beat it if you just went from start to finish. You could probably beat it in 6 hours, maybe less, depending on what you actually do, how completionist you are. But in 2, they take it's much better on top of a already fantastic game. So that's like they made everything, the entire system, more fun. They added some upgrades that you can purchase that with real money, with in-game money. It's not microtransactions or anything like that, but it's got like power cogs that you purchase. You can upgrade your gear with. You find the running thing with the game is you find resources as you're digging down, and you sell it to a guy, and he gives you gold. And you can purchase upgrades. So that system right there was in the first one, but they expanded on it even more with the 2. And I haven't beaten it yet, but it's been a ton of fun for what I've done. I'm nearing the end right now. I was actually playing it when we were doing the podcast right now, but I want to stop because, like I said, I'm getting near the end. I want to listen to the music and listen to the story, how it all plays out. But yeah, SteamWorld Dig 2 is a phenomenal game. The studio there, they do some good work. I have to play Heist as well. That's a little bit of a different game.
Yeah, Heist looked really cool, but it's like that tactical like RPG type thing, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
yeah, I think that they just added that to the Switch not too long ago.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that came out last week, I think, on the Switch. But
nice.
I definitely check out SteamWorld Dig 2. If you play a little bit of it and you like it, try out 1 first and then play through that. Like I said, it's pretty short, but I understand that it's not Game of the Year for many people, but it'll probably be on my list of top 10.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna talk about a game I really like in this list, but I think we can probably cut it just because it's not in probably my top 10 for the year, and that's Pyre, unfortunately. I really liked Pyre a whole lot, but this game was just so like jam-packed with like games that I wanted to keep playing like more than Pyre this year. Even though the story and stuff was really good in Pyre, like I don't feel like maybe like the style is really good and stuff, the way it looks, but I don't know. I just wanted something more than just the story in that game to keep me going, and I was basically just playing Pyre at the end, like for the story. So, what about Cuphead? Does anybody like Cuphead? Cuphead's really good, but I don't know if it's in my top 10 either. I don't know if anybody else would.
It's like top 10 for me, definitely, but I wouldn't argue for Game of the Year, like overall. But
Yeah.
definitely, I could argue for like Indie Game of the Year. Like a smaller category, just not overall.
Well, it's not even like my favorite indie game of the year. Like, I mean, I guess Hellblade. It's just so indie's such a weird title, but Hellblade would like beat it there for me. So,
I wouldn't call Hellblade indie, that's for sure, because they're just
yeah,
No.
but I mean, it just comes down to like, what does indie even mean anymore? Like, because
Independent.
Cuphead had Microsoft behind it too, so it's not like independent.
It's independent studio. They just have Microsoft.
Well, they got
it's
published.
just published by them. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's like
just
I mean,
such a weird
they're still
title.
independent, just like
like
all the ones that
saying-
indie.
Your argument for Cuphead not being, or for Hellblade, whatever way you're doing it, is like saying Super Meat Boy isn't an indie game because that was published on the Xbox
And-
Microsoft.
I mean,
A lot
I
of
didn't know
games
Hellblade
get
wasn't an
published or
independent studio.
co-published by Microsoft on Xbox, but outside of Xbox, they don't. Like Cuphead's on PC, it's on Steam, and they publish themselves.
Yeah, regardless, I don't think a game being independent, like, or not independent, like I don't think that really has any weight when we're talking about like best games of the year. Because I think an indie game can be like #1, like if it's good enough. Like it doesn't matter if it's independent.
I wasn't saying that.
Definitely can. Yeah.
I wasn't saying that. I was saying like I would only put it in Game of the Year in a smaller category, just not
okay.
overall Game of the Year.
I see. I got you. Cool.
Well, you already kind of did with Best Looking, so
Yeah, it took that home. Splatoon 2, I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year. I mean, I don't think it's going to make like the top 10 just because, I don't know. I mean, it might with some of you guys' list, but it won't mine just because, I don't know. I played more of like 10 other games this year, which this part of the thing's so hard because a lot of us kind of maybe just played like 10 games this year, so it's hard to like take someone else's argument for a game that you didn't play, you know, but I don't know. I think we should still try.
My game of the year is Morrowind.
There you go. Okay, so let's start off games that we know are going to be on this list. I think that's an easy way to do it. Zelda Breath of the Wild, obviously. I think. I mean, I don't think. I think it's going to be here. Mario Odyssey. I'm like afraid to say more than that. Horizon. Did enough of us play Horizon for it to like register that high?
It's good. I don't know if I put it above Zelda, just because they're very similar feels with different graphic styles and stories.
Yeah. Like I will probably fight to have Nier like on the top 10 list, but it's not gonna like win, just because me and Kev are the only ones that really played it. And I don't think it should win either. I think
I've
Zelda.
played the hell out of Nier.
You did? I didn't think you played. Oh shit! Nice. How far have you beaten there?
I got the first
The
of the
first?
main endings and several of the gag endings.
Oh man, once you get to that second ending, it's where we're good. But yeah, that game is kind of like a commitment too. You have to like beat it multiple times to get the whole story, but it's so worth it. Okay, so I would say Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey. I think Hellblade. Enough of us like Hellblade to get it on there. RE7. That's 4 games. Jesus, this is gonna take forever. Maybe we should just do top 3, so we're not here like forever trying to make a top 10 list.
I'm down with that.
So definitely Zelda. It's definitely.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about the games individually, or
I mean,
Yeah, we
it's been
can.
like 2 hours.
We can talk about the.
not individually? I mean, maybe when we get near the top 3.
Yeah.
Let me see. Here's what I got on a top 10 list. Just let me know if you guys think this is okay. I got Zelda, Mario, Nier, Persona 5, Xenoblade 2, RE7, Tekken, Assassin's Creed Origins, Cuphead, and Hellblade right now.
Can I swap? Does anybody have any negatives against swapping Return of Samus for Xenoblade 2? I really loved Return of Metroid.
Yeah, that's a game we haven't talked about much, so I could see that.
Got the remake port thing, so.
Okay. Has any,
I think
who else has
Jason would
played?
back me on it. Probably Baltus
Yeah,
too.
where's-
Baltus, I think, really liked Metroid as well.
I still want to
Yeah,
play
it's
it.
super good. I mean,
I got to the robot at the end and I rage quit so hard, and I keep trying to go back, and I just can't beat that damn thing. And just when I think I've got the timing down, I screw it up. It's a great game. It really is a great game.
Shows
But-
your age, Baltus.
That robot can eat some S, all of it.
yeah,
No,
like,
it's a good game.
My only negative to Samus Returns was really like, I mean, the difficulty gets on up there, and it's not so much negative on the game as it is on me. Like, I stopped having as much fun toward the end of the game just because I was so frustrated by it. But the design of the game like was super good, and the issues that I had with it were more on the way that I play games, not the game itself. Like, just because I stopped whatever having fun with it doesn't make it, you know, a bad game at all. Like, it was still a really great game that I loved. What, like 14 hours that I played it.
It's interesting you said that, because through maybe half of the game, the difficulty was decent. It wasn't too hard, wasn't too easy. Then for like a third of the game, it was there was one point where I thought the game was just stupid easy. Like, I'd gotten all the power offs, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I'm just mowing everything down. And then all of a sudden, that darn robot. Like, they just throw the difficulty way up there with a boss fight, unlike any other boss fight in the game up to that point. Just completely the perspective of the fight and the mechanics and just everything about it is completely different. Nothing has prepared you for that.
Yeah. I just put the top 10 list that I have up here. The only thing that I would really change from this is take Tekken 7 off and put Mario plus Rabbids on.
I think Tekken should be higher.
It's not like the order yet, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Tekken might be my number 2.
Really? I didn't know you were into Tekken. Like, I didn't
Man,
know
I
you
love Tekken.
Who you made?
That's like my number 2 game of the year.
I feel like this is Trolley Baltus right now.
What? So this is Baltus spelled with a U.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit. But I know Kevy's really passionate about Tekken, so I hesitate to do that.
I mean, fine.
Okay. So I don't know. I know what my top 3 would be, but I don't know what like
maybe we all give
top
our
3 would be.
Are we all
top three.
just going to do our top 3?
And then
We could
maybe
do that.
you
Yeah.
line some of them up or whatever.
Zelda obviously is my number 1. Nier would be my number 2, and shoot, it's between Hellblade and Mario Odyssey. But crap. I think I might go Odyssey. Yeah, that's probably my 3. I need to spell Odyssey right, but whatever. All right.
We got Zelda, Assassin's Creed, and Mario. And I actually need to take off. We're going to do a late night grocery run.
Have
All right,
fun.
Can you get me some string cheese while you're out?
Buffalo.
Sure.
I need coffee.
I need some coffee. All right. Joseph, what would your top 3 be?
Probably, I mean Zelda, but probably Zelda, Mario, Resident Evil.
Cool. JD?
I'd go Zelda, Mario, Hellblade.
Then for me, Resident Evil, Tekken. It's tough between Cuphead and Hellblade, but I don't know. Because even though I saw that stuff about Cuphead, it still grew on me. Now that I have 3.
Hellblade.
It's like I'm playing Hellblade. Yeah, Hellblade. But if I had a 4th, it would be Cuphead.
Brit?
I'll go Zelda. Which, by the way, Zelda, I think it's like the perfect storm for me. I've said this a lot, but I think it's like my favorite game
Yeah, I feel like
of all time.
I feel like we're like we all love Zelda, so we're not talking much about Zelda. But Zelda is like amazing. It's like possibly my favorite game of all time.
There was a night after the was it after the marathon? We had like 10 or 15 people on in Discord, and we talked about Zelda, of course, for a long time. It was like me, I think you were there, Rob, too, Jasif, Karamek, JD.
It was after the podcast, I think.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
I think it was a podcast.
We talked about it forever, and it's funny because we all had tons of critiques, but it was like stuff that like, oh man, imagine if they did this, or imagine if the dungeons were this size. But it was like because we all liked the game so much, we could see how much, even with that formula that to go anywhere, climb anything, which I think that's the biggest thing, because I see a lot of people talking about, oh, it's an open world game, but it really is the first kind of open world game that you can really, well, I guess it's Far Cry as well, but can you scale stuff in the newest, like in the newer Far Cries like this, like you could in Breath of the Wild? Like, can you climb anything? Which people are like, well, it's just a simple mechanic.
In the
it's
Far
really
Cries,
not.
no, you can't do that in the Far Cry games. You can't just climb anything.
Oh yeah, no, not like the regular Far Cry. It's got like the Assassin's Creed tower mechanic.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm confusing it, because I only played 4, but this game really feels like when people say, "You see that mountain over there? You can climb it."
Like
it's like.
Oh, what was that?
It's the
Oblivion?
trope that's become like a thing in like all these open world games that people talk about, but you can actually finally do in a game.
Yeah, you can climb anything. I mean, there's some other, like, I guess sandboxy type stuff they can add, but I really loved the one of the biggest things that people did not like about it, but I actually did like, was the what's the word I'm looking for when a weapon deteriorates?
Oh yeah, the durability stuff.
Durability system. I actually liked it because I feel like the whole time. I mean, y'all can go back and rewatch our Zelda Breath of the Wild marathon. You're seeing like the first time any of us got to experience it, and it's funny just seeing us like you would see like a fire in the thing, like, oh, go over there, and then we were killing things. I was like, oh, get that weapon, and we're just like hoarding stuff in a way, and it just I mean, Zelda 1 is the most similar kind of experience. I mean, obviously that was made in the 80s, so technology is way different, but you really felt like you're put in a world that you could just kind of go anywhere and do anything. It was like a perfect storm for me.
Me and Jason have talked some about the durability system when we were at the Zelda Universe panel or whatever, and just like how much we liked it because it's like allowed you to like test other weapons and stuff, and like
It's required, in my opinion.
Yeah, like there were so many weapons in the game that I loved that I don't know if I would have tried if I just had like a sword that I could use the entire game without having to worry about it break.
Yeah. To be fair, I wouldn't know the weapons that I hate as much as I do in that game either.
That's also true.
Yeah. But
yeah,
the
and I felt like
so good.
The clothing too, I tried a lot just because there's so many unique instances, like the climbing clothes. It's like, oh, I'm gonna swap these on real fast. That skeleton thing where it boosts all bone type weapons by a certain percentage. I did my last run. I went and got that first so that I could try that out. But yeah, I could go on all night about Breath of the Wild, so I'll stop there.
I just wanted to give it its credit because we had been like we've been talking about it, but not like going into detail about it and stuff.
My order was the same as JD's though: Zelda, Mario, Hellblade.
Zelda, Mario, Hellblade. Man, like there's a lot of Mario games that I just like don't like, but this Mario Odyssey, like, it was kind of like the most polished game like ever. Like, they did so many good things with that game.
It's kind of hard to wrap your head around that Nintendo put out Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey in the same year.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. This was a really good year for Nintendo.
Yeah, I'd argue it's their best year, like, ever.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
At least it's a decent argument. There's a good argument for it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure someone could make a counter argument, but I don't know what it would be really. Like
maybe
Nintendo
one of the years
64 days or something.
You'd probably actually have to go back to like NES or SNES, even though I loved the N64, but none of the years financially. I guess in terms of fun, there probably are years. Yeah, you could argue for the 64 for sure. But
or I'm sure there's people who could argue like SNES too or whatever, but I don't know. I wasn't like. I don't know. I mean, I grew up in that time, but I didn't. I was a Sega boy, so. Okay, so we got. I think we got 1 and 2 nailed down pretty good. We just need to find a number 3. And I know this list looks like it's gonna be.
But...
Oh, sorry about this. Go ahead.
I was just waiting. Breath of the Wild, Resident Evil, Breath of the Wild, Hellblade, and Resident Evil.
It's gonna be close. Well, we know what number one will be, but
yeah,
number 3, it seems like it's gonna be between Hellblade and Resident Evil, right?
Yeah,
or
that seems like the one that people have in their number 3 spot the most. Those 2 games. So.
And Baltus has it in his number 2.
I'm adjusting the list a little bit, so.
I mean, honestly, I would probably. I would say that Resident Evil was probably my second favorite game. Like, it's Zelda number 1 for sure, but I would swap Resident Evil and Mario.
And that puts pretty much Hellblade and Resident Evil like they're pretty even.
Neck and neck, yeah.
I don't have much to say because I didn't play Resident Evil 7, but it looks amazing, so I can't say.
In between RE7 and Hellblade, I enjoyed RE7 a lot more, just because I love Resident Evil.
So we've got Kebby and Jaseth both putting it the nod above. We got Baltus with the Hellblade nod above. I haven't played RE7, so I couldn't say which I preferred. So
I've seen all of RE7 played, and I played Hellblade, but like I don't know. I feel like those games are really, really close. Like, I could kind of see either of them taking, like, number 3 spot and, like, be happy. I was more invested in Hellblade, obviously, because I played it, but I really thought the story, like, was... I enjoyed the story more in Hellblade, but I can see how, like, the story in Resident Evil 7 is really good, too, so... I don't know. This is a tough one. Yeah. God, they both have really good arguments against, or like for them, because RE7 kind of like took the franchise like and did this whole new like completely different like thing with it, and it like worked really really well. Whereas Hellblade like did something like completely different that like I feel like hasn't been done a whole lot in video games like before. So
Story-wise, it's a combat. I mean, combat was not the best in that game. It was
yeah. I kind of just forget about the combat in Hellblade.
yeah, it's kind of like it's there. It's like they're like,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do for? I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not the selling point, you know. Which for a lot of people, gameplay is obviously paramount.
Yeah, it's so weird because like I wouldn't tell someone to play that game for the gameplay like at all or anything like that. But like it's something that you have to get through to like get to the really good parts of that game. So, and I don't think it's like horrible. It's not like the worst gameplay of all time, but it's not doing anything like special. I don't think.
I mean, the thing I did like about it is the obviously minimal to no HUD being there, so they couldn't have anything that I'm pretty sure that's one of the things that they prioritize. So you kind of not limit yourself, but you have to have your combat in a certain way because of that, you know. So in order to kind of achieve that, so I see why they did it. I see why it is how it is, and it looks pretty, and it is. It's fun and it's pretty intuitive, but it's not. That's one thing. If they make, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a straight up sequel, but they make like something that's in that vein. That's something that they could improve upon, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of wish, like my number 3 spot, it's between like Hellblade and Mario plus Rabbids, just because I had so much fun with Mario plus Rabbids, and it was just so different. But so we're like
Mario plus Rabbids. That'll probably give Resident Evil the nod. With Breath of the Wild is clear cut number 1, right? Then we have Odyssey, I guess, number 2.
I'm updating the list right now. So yeah, we got Mario number 2. It's Hellblade, Resident Evil, like is 3. Yeah. We need a ringer. Someone we can call in here. What did Phil say his list was? I think he said Assassin's Creed Origins, so that doesn't help us at all. Dang it.
I mean, I think with what we have, RE7 over Hellblade.
I'm down with that.
I'm cool with that.
It has a little nod. I mean, it's close.
Yeah, I think both those games like could be easily number 3. Okay, so I will update this list, and we'll be done, y'all. It was such a good year for games.
It was. I think it's the shortest Game of Year podcast yet. 3 hours.
Yeah. I think it is. I wish, like, shout out to Rudy for like setting this, giving me this little thing to work with. I think it added like some to the podcast, hopefully, some like little visual components. But it's really fun putting these things together. It's a little stressful, little like the day of and stuff, but and then just like having to talk for like so long about, like, I can talk like about these games like forever, but yeah, it's hard to, I don't know. It's hard to come to a consensus sometimes.
I think this is the least game of the year wise was because wasn't in the years past, or not last year, but the year before it was pretty rough.
Yeah. Like I could
I
fight.
think Rob got like thrown through a table.
Today. That happened.
Don't let this man distract you.
Man, Nier is so good though, y'all. You guys gotta play Nier.
I just didn't want to put it since I haven't finished it.
Kevy, it could have been me and you fighting for it.
Rob, it's been 3 hours.
I think we still would have. I'm just saying, like, some Game of the Year podcasts go on for like 6 hours, so let's get this on here, though.
But not us.
This is true. Okay.
Like Jason's tweet. The biggest twist that nobody saw coming.
I just want to play some more Breath of the Wild. Actually, I think I'm going to play some OT tonight.
You mean you're playing that Ocarina of Time?
Playing Dragon Quest tonight.
Yeah, let's just talk about what everybody's playing tonight.
Some Street Fighter.
That arcade mode.
I just got to the Champions Ballad section in
nice.
my master mode run of Zelda, so I can finally play it.
I hear that the or I think they were talking about it in that panel that like that's the best like story parts of the game. So maybe if we had all like done those parts or beaten that part, I don't know. Did Britt probably beat that part?
Did I do what?
The DLC stuff, the story DLC stuff for Breath of the Wild.
What about it?
I heard I haven't done it yet, but I hear it's like the best story part of that game.
It adds a lot of, I guess you'd say, character development for it, for all the characters. Okay. I loved, like I said, love Breath of the Wild, maybe my favorite game ever. I liked the DLC, but it was not even close to how good the base game was, in my opinion.
I'm not smart enough for the DLC. I'm trying to do the Champions thing up on the where you've got that trident and it's a one-hit kill, but you're also killed in one hit. Those shrines are ridiculous.
How many shrines did the DLC add?
16.
Nice.
Enough that you can finally max out both your hearts and stamina, right?
No, you're still missing.
Really?
One heart. Yep.
Oh!
Is it a heart?
You can
God,
have everything maxed out except for the very last heart.
That is so ridiculous.
Oh, it's an incomplete game. We need to take it off this list. I was just kidding.
Take your tweet down, Jason.
All right, so what we got? We got Zelda Breath of the Wild, clear-cut winner. Nobody saw it coming. Mario Odyssey coming in second. Resident Evil third. Really close behind Hellboy. Or Hellboy, not Hellboy.
Yeah, Hellboy.
Hellboy's my
honestly,
dude.
it was tough
Hellblade
choosing
and,
between Hellblade and Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already so good. So is Hellblade. And so are all these games on this list. The only one I haven't played, or two, I haven't played Metroid and I haven't played Origins, but I've played everything else. So I'm kind of proud of that.
I don't want to get Metroid now. Brush off my 3DS.
Yeah.
It's super good. So many people overlooked. It was definitely because it came out on the 3DS and the year the Switch released, but
yeah,
too many people overlooked Samus Returns, and it's a very good game.
I'm glad I made
awesome.
this list for sure. I'm glad Mario plus Rabbids made this list as well, because I don't know, have you guys beaten Mario plus Rabbids? I don't know how many people have beaten it, but
I don't even own it.
I have not beaten it, but I'm probably going to now that they announced that the DK world being added to DLC.
Yeah. That's a free. It's free too.
Is it free or is it part of the season pass? Because there was a season pass for the game.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure. I thought they were doing something free for that game though, or maybe I'm thinking about Odyssey.
The Odyssey update is free. I don't know about Rabbids. I didn't really pay attention in the direct, but I know there was a season pass for the game, so I feel like this might be part of that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, that's our Game of the Year stuff, guys. Anything you guys want to say on closing? I don't know. It's just been there's so many games I still need to play from 2017.
I'm gonna try to. It's not my new resolution, but I'm gonna try to stream more.
Yeah, me too. It's not my resolution either, but
Like,
I
I
want
want to
This is the-
stream.
Fourth Game of the Year podcast that Britt said that. I
to.
I usually
Yeah,
stream
like
Nice.
in October like quite a bit, but I didn't this October just because of the game that me and my Chase are working on, and we're still working on it right now. That's why as soon as that's slows down a bit, then I'll be able to stream a lot more. And so I promise then I'll stream Witcher 3 and I'll finish up Morrowind
and start near.
start near.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah, this was our shortest Game of the Year podcast, which is saying something, seeing that it's been like 3 hours long. But thank all you guys for showing up and duking it out for Game of the Year stuff, even though there weren't any like throwdowns really this year. But it was fun. I always think these things are like super fun, so hopefully you guys do too. Don't think of it as like something you have to do, but something that you want to do. Yeah.
Later.
We'll see.
But yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next year. So go
Yeah,
play
March
go play some Nier and some Zelda and some Mario.
That's some Street Fighter.
Yeah, that too, I guess.
See?
Bye.